Okay, did I miss anything else?
Diane started, but
Okay,
I
thank
don't
you.
think we got it.
No, I was just trying to get the
You
agenda
gotta
up
do
to
the
date
whole
for you.
I'll see y'all later.
Night night.
Night.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay, everyone, welcome to the meeting of the Nantucket Historic District Commission. It is 4:32 on Tuesday, July 23rd. Present at today's meeting are John McLaughlin, Diane Coombs, Val Oliver, TJ Watterson, Abigail Camp, and myself, Ray Cole. For those of you in the audience, we have two requests. One, that if you want to record any portion of tonight's meeting, let us know in advance. And two, if you plan on having any conversations other than at the table, could you take them out in the hall so that we can hear what's being said at this table? Thank you. We have a modified agenda. Can somebody give me a motion to approve that modified agenda? Thank you. Diane, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, is there any public comment at this time? Hearing none? Well, I don't see, are you after
Steve's away.
consent?
Oh.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, I need to recuse from consent. Anybody
Mom,
else?
me
You
too.
do, Val?
So.
Anyone else need to recuse from consent?
No.
All right. Okay, Diane, it's to you.
All right, can I have a motion to approve?
There it is, mine.
All right, all those in favor? Please say
Aye.
aye.
Great.
Abstain.
And one abstention.
So that would have been three in favor, one abstention.
And I'll also make a motion to approve the consent with conditions by Ms. Val Oliver.
Okay, so the only
Somebody
person
does this one.
obviously that needs to, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the only person that needs to recuse from that, of course, is Val. All those in favor of that consent with conditions?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. And one abstention there too, right, John? Okay, thank you. And now we have Kevin with signs.
Yes, very quickly, all are on hold for further information.
Oh, I'll make that motion for 1, 2, and 3 to hold 1, 2,
They're all on
3,
hold.
4.
What was the sign that made the stink on Facebook? My God, I thought it's burning down the town. Was it the entrance to the old hill looking over the cemetery?
I don't know.
Stone pillars with a green sign that shows the streets and where the houses are.
Really?
They had a
I
picture
haven't
of
seen
it.
that one.
Aware of it?
No.
Hey, Diane, could you send something
Yeah,
to
send
Kevin just so that he knows if
Yeah,
he needs
right,
to take
I'll
some
see
kind
if
of
it's
action
still
on
on
it?
there.
Yeah,
see
because
if
it's
I
hard
can
for us to
track
get
it.
the stuff at night, especially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I haven't been
What are
following.
you doing out at night driving around, Diane?
Huh?
What are you doing out at night? All right, thank you.
All right, thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
Motion to approve the 3 signs.
They're all on
No,
hold.
no.
All
hold.
3 signs are on hold, and that was a motion, was it not?
Yes,
Yes.
mine.
And I want to establish a board because there are 6 people at this table, so TJ, you're off that one simply because the rest of the board members are all regular board members.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, now we're on to new business. First up is 71 Pochick Avenue. Hi there. Just come on right up here.
Oh, wait.
Who said, oh, wait?
No. Keep going.
Okay.
There you go, Johnny.
I'm falling behind on my responsibility.
Rep 4. Ah.
It's not really
Um,
spirals nowadays. Oh, yes.
You're James Hurwitz, right? Okay, so it's the applicant, Terry.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so our application says that you're looking for a spiral staircase and a deck, correct?
Yes, a deck on an existing roof.
Deck on an
right height of your deck? It looks awfully high. Or maybe it's not to scale.
I enclosed some photos. There it is.
Okay. This is gonna rely completely on lack of visibility. Looks like you've
It
got
is.
a metal spiral staircase, metal wire fence, all things which I'm pretty sure you probably know this board doesn't ordinarily approve at all visible.
It isn't, and the company that will hire to put in the spiral staircase apparently has 6 already on the island, and it will be colored to be exactly the same color as the siding on the house.
Which interestingly isn't even really a concern for us, no matter what you plan to paint it, as long as it can be established that it's
Yeah.
gonna be invisible from a public way.
So I have these photographs, since I thought you'd ask those questions, that nobody in the world will ever see this.
What about outer space?
Maybe the Google thing, map. But it's totally invisible to anybody, because the back of our house, there aren't any houses, there never will be any houses, it's next to the airport. It's all dunes, and way off in the distance is the ocean, and there just isn't anything there. So I have these photos of that view if you'd like to see them.
You know what I think would be very helpful for the board? You mentioned the airport. And I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at this. Is that the airport right there?
That's the end of the runway.
Right, that's that little perimeter, they have kind of like a little drive or
Goes
road
around.
that runs around.
Yeah, that's the
perimeter.
corner.
And then
It's
there's the fencing.
Belvedere.
Right.
Which meter is that?
Okay.
This is,
And you called it the back of your house, so
Yes.
you actually approach your house from this side?
yes,
You do.
yes.
And this right here, is that somebody's driveway running by your house, this white?
That doesn't exist.
So it does not
That's
exist?
a paper road.
Okay,
Was.
all right.
No, there's nothing around our house in that direction.
Ironically, I was just.
How did he
out
get
by-
into his house?
Off of Kochik, so
Okay.
you see how the house is sort of bent? You know, it's angled?
Yeah.
If you look at the blow up, this is happening on what I believe is the southeast side of the house.
Okay.
Right.
Here.
Yeah.
So that would imply that the front of the house is the side that's sort of diagonally facing up to Kochik Avenue.
Correct.
So 75 Pochick
Yeah,
comes Pochick and goes down Adams Street. So
Right.
it surrounds this house. Sort of.
yeah, so according to the plan, we're looking at Kochik is coming down here,
Right.
turning, doing a right angle, coming
Can't see
down
it.
and turning into Adams Street down here.
Well, those don't really exist. May I? You want me to
Yeah.
show you?
Well, now so you have 5 members, so you wanna make sure that you're
So-
not just addressing me.
Yeah, this
Uh,
is, so this is that, it's just a sandy road from the beach.
That's the Adams
Yeah, I
Street.
guess so.
Yeah.
So this is my wife
Yeah.
standing on it, and that's our house off in the distance, and there's absolutely nothing there.
Okay,
And this is just another view of,
So it's getting built on top of the pergola?
the deck is, yes.
And
That's
what,
rather odd. It's just hard to see because we usually get 1/4-inch scale plans. And
do you know
How
the-
long is the deck?
we're supposed to get.
Well,
1/4 scale.
it's not, it's beyond 8 feet, I can tell you that.
The deck is not gonna cover the whole roof.
Well,
Is that what
it's
you mean?
one of the things that we sort of include because the deck isn't supposed to go out more than 8 feet.
well, but this is already there.
Pre-existing.
What?
The
This whole
pergola,
thing is already here.
it's a pergola.
Well, it's a pergola
it's
that's
covered.
opaque.
It's what?
Opaque.
It's filled in, if you look at the
It's
details.
filled in.
It's,
It's
Yeah,
for all,
from what
for all
they look
intents
at.
and purposes, it's a second floor deck.
It's a roof.
It's a roof, yeah. flat
Yeah,
roof.
it's
you know,
hard to see.
I mean,
It
So
prevents
then-
us from getting rained on when we eat outside.
Do you know the height of the cable railing that, is it?
4
30
feet.
4 feet, okay, so it is a little high.
really,
Usually,
That's what I was told to say.
isn't 36?
36 is
standard?
I thought-
Can we
I'm
get
just
a
curious
set
why.
of bigger plans?
What, do you have
I,
this?
Yeah,
maybe
but
it's
that-
36,
no
I'm not
measurements on
100% sure, I thought he said it was 4
Well,
feet.
that's why
well,
I asked how
interestingly,
Good.
so 36 inches, 3 feet
Got to know.
is
something
residential
building.
code, all right? 42
Oh.
inches, 3.5 feet is
12.
commercial code, so 4 feet
there?
exceeds even the commercial.
Maybe it
code.
was the
Leaving
post then that were
that
4 feet, but he
sticking
said it
out.
was.
That's
From
4
what I
feet.
can
Yeah,
see.
maybe
All right.
it was.
Guys, I think I might have a solution to the visibility issue here. Because really, we want to ensure that this is not going to be visible. So right now, you can like walk out on this, right?
That's how I started this whole thing, the view was spectacular.
Right. Okay, so I think that it would not be difficult for you to just go out and put up a couple of posts
Yeah.
that are 3 feet high, string a little line between them, and then we go out and take a look, and if we can't see it, we're done.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
I'll make
And
that
also,
motion.
can we get a 1/4 inch scale size plan? 'Cause
Yeah,
can't
so
really see
do you know
these.
where this came from?
My architect.
Okay, so
I
you're,
think they tried to send it that way, but it came through a different size.
see, it would be great to have this in the context of your whole building. So if he can do it, you know, most of the drawings that we're looking at are like that big. So if you can just get him to do your house, which you already exists, it's built, and show that with the whole, that's what you're
He
requesting.
does have the house, I just want a copy that's bigger, you can't see it.
With some measurements on it, because that,
I'm sure you're.
See, it shows the house.
Doesn't it have measurements on it?
No, look, we expect a 1/4 inch scale plan, I don't know how it slipped by everybody in the office, but, it's just that we can't read.
Well, it was a
Same.
question, as I say, of transmission. It was sent the way the requirements were.
One.
Well,
Yeah.
John had.
I'll do it
well,
again.
Okay.
They can
Yeah.
help you,
No,
yeah.
no, I think you misunderstand, you don't send it to the office and they print it, you have to physically.
No, I brought
Okay.
these and made
Okay,
quadruplicates of them.
Okay.
But this is.
Right.
Yeah.
So instead of using 8.5 by 11, you're gonna wanna go with a larger size so that all that will fit at 1/4 inch scale.
yeah, probably like
So
24 by
what size do I have to do it all?
A 1/4 inch equals 1 foot. That would,
My guess is it's
1/4
gonna
inch
be,
equals-
You want a 1/4 inch?
24 by 36.
Your
inch
architect
paper.
will know when you tell him.
I'll write it
that
down
was-
anyway. What'd you say, 24 by 36?
Yeah,
well,
that's my
Maybe.
guess,
I wouldn't say that it's gonna, 24 by 36 probably,
probably.
1/4 inch equals 1 foot.
correct.
And you want a 3 feet post?
Yeah, at either end of where you're proposed.
3-foot post.
yeah.
The posts
With a
can be
string.
larger, the railing is 36.
those paints are all
Posts can be
glossy.
40.
Yeah, but he's not
I
gonna
don't
wanna make them a foot
Here,
taller
if we're
than.
not gonna see it.
No,
I'm
What
sure
we're
they,
mainly interested in is where the top of the rail, which, you know, if somebody's telling you 4
Looks like
feet,
he's gonna tip the
I
house
would
over.
say 36 is the code, it's gonna improve your visibility,
Big items,
you know.
maybe
I'm sure they went by
It's
code.
gonna-
All
okay.
right, so 36 inch. And okay,
Okay, so if you put those up, here's
Yeah.
what happens.
Yep.
When we do our viewings over the weekend, so you wanna make sure that that's gonna be up by, say, Friday afternoon. You call the
Testing.
office, the HTC office, you say, my height poles are up, available to be on the viewing
Testing,
list for this
testing,
weekend.
testing.
View it, and then you're
Can
gonna
you
be
hear
here
me?
again next Tuesday.
Testing. Is this
I don't
testing?
think so, I think, no. We,
What?
I just canceled patients and came here
Testing.
6 hours. for this.
Testing.
yeah.
Testing.
So, is it, are we gonna
like
be
that's not-
okay reviewing this once we've had a chance to view this?
Yeah,
What-
I
yeah.
can't
No,
see
but-
it.
Track
but hang on.
are you on?
Without
You are on that track.
representation. He
Yeah.
doesn't wanna necessarily come back
I
here
get
again
it.
next
If
Tuesday.
he doesn't, if he can,
We
then
get it.
fine.
Okay,
If
we get
we
it.
have
As
what
long
we
as the
need.
poles are up, you're good to go.
I'll get the
Alright.
poles up.
Yeah.
John, anything else to add,
Okay.
or are you good? He's gonna put up some height poles for us, we're gonna check the visibility, he's gonna get us some 1/4 inch scale drawings.
One
Okay.
last question. Do you want the whole house done again or just the area that was gonna have the the roof
I
with the
have the
deck.
elevations and at least one floor plan with some dimensions.
Of the whole thing?
Just the floor plan of your house. Yes, sir.
Look at what I see in front of me, okay? But apparently, without the railing, all right, it's a second floor deck,
It is.
Yeah.
okay? Basically, our policy is, decks are not to go more than 8 feet away from the wall.
I said that.
That's one of our policies.
I said it was existing.
And the other,
It is.
is say it's not visible, fine, if it's visible, I'm speaking of if it is visible, but the worst can happen is you wouldn't get approved. There was a wire fencing. okay?
He's aware of that, so
Okay.
he's aware that if this is visible, it's not gonna be
Yeah.
approved. Yeah.
It says here, you're gonna paint some gray.
That's gonna be the whole railing and everything. That's the color that he's using.
You're gonna paint the whole thing?
No, that's the,
All the railing, the staircase is all gonna be that gray, all the new stuff.
no, that's stainless steel. The spiral staircase is gonna be painted that color.
Yeah, okay, we'll go view it. Thank you.
All right,
Motion to
thanks.
hold for review and
Need that
quarter-inch
one. Thank you.
scale drawings.
Thank you.
Elevation.
All right.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thanks.
Did you sign that?
John?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to get, well, I'll get it.
the application?
Okay, Nantucket architecture, there we are.
How you doing? We're good. How you doing?
Good.
I know.
Before we go,
No, we don't.
right? I wasn't sure. I included these, I made other copies in case they weren't included. There are 5 copies.
Oh, send them around.
Yeah.
So,
Yes. John's.
We have it. No, it exists at the time.
Where?
oh, Howard Court,
Howard Court, yep.
yeah.
Right next
at
to
the
Greater
corner.
Light, at the corner.
Yeah, right across
Correct.
the street. Okay, so that's where the house is. Here we have, HSAP. Okay, so it says no date, meaning on the historical information. Unknown, no date, probably contributing, HSAP would like that. Here are their comments. Move proposed addition back from the street so as not to compete with original structure and less width along the front. Where are the AC units? Those
Okay,
are
comment.
the HSAB comments.
Okay, so if we look at this, I can tell you that I disagree with all those comments, but we'll start with, if you look back at go back through the Sanborn maps all the way back, this was an empty lot up until 1923, when the original house was demolished, and a new house was built in 1923 or 24, okay?
Hang on. So, 1909, a house appears on your Sanborn,
Yes, that's correct.
all right?
Yep, but it's not the original.
No, I'm following you. Okay,
Okay.
so 1909, it's got a certain shape to it,
Yep,
right?
right.
And then 1923,
I don't have a 23.
I don't either.
you don't have a
I
1920?
have a
Just tell us what happens
1909.
in 1923.
It's different.
My mother's 3 years old. It's changed?
Wow.
Yeah. It changed.
I think that it would help if
Even the
you
lot,
probably wrote
even the
that down.
lot size sort of changed.
It's hard to.
So this house is roughly 1923. The addition to the right-hand side was
Oh,
done.
Stephen, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I gotta interrupt you
Yeah.
again.
Okay, go ahead.
I actually have 2 1923s.
Okay.
But the weird thing is,
They're different.
they're different.
Correct.
Because one was
Okay,
updated in
If you guys are,
49.
if you guys are lacking the 1923, both of them, you need to see this, okay?
Yeah.
So let's circulate that, because you will see there's two 1923s, and they have two different shapes, and even the lot size has changed. It's gotten bigger.
Is that the only copy we have?
It
I
may
guess
be,
so.
but
I think it
I'm
might
gonna
have stuck
circulate
in
it
the
around.
printer. So we know the house is 1923. The original house is the front, a Ford 3-dormer fronting the street. Back in 2009, I did the right-hand side addition to
Testing,
it.
testing,
Then
testing.
zoning at that time was
19,
R1, and now the zoning's
Are
changed
these
to
on the
ROH.
same test?
Okay.
So the owner went from 30% ground cover to 50% ground cover.
Okay.
And now that his family has grown with grandkids, he wants to expand his house.
Okay.
So what I did is I designed a
Testing,
single-story addition
testing. 1, 2, 3.
that mimics the previous addition that was approved. So if you look at the existing side elevations, they are almost identical. Okay? And the house to the right of this particular dwelling is a full 30-foot, 2-story wall that butts their yard, which I'm not sure if it's in the photos, but I think it is in the photos. You can see it. So our thought was not to try to do a second floor addition and totally blow out the roof on that main structure, but to keep the integrity of that main structure with the lobe and the dormers and add on to the side.
Testing, testing,
Because we would
testing.
have, the owner originally wanted to take the roof off that main structure that was built in 23 and go full
Testing,
2 stories
testing.
up. But I said, we don't want to do that. I think we should be sensitive of this and just keep the addition to a single story, which we did. So the relationship to the existing elevation, the new plan shows, if you look at your site plan, we're moving that wall, which is dashed in red on the site plan I gave you, 2 feet. It is still set back 5 feet from the front of the building. So the impact is minimal.
And you still have the
Thanks, Steve.
shell driveway?
You're welcome.
Testing.
Yeah, shell driveway still stays.
Okay, is everybody getting this one? Is it?
Is there a,
I'm gonna sort of, do a little synopsis of what Stephen just said. So you have the main part of the house, that's the 1923 part. I would use Howard Court as the road, but Howard Court is actually L-shaped. So the Howard Court that's not facing greater light, right?
Correct.
All right, so the front of the house faces the Howard Court that's not the greater light side. You have the 3-dormered 1.5-story piece. You've got the piece to the right of that, which is an addition that Stephen did in what year?
2009.
2009. And what he plans to do is add a few feet onto that, the length of that addition, just extruding it out. Looks like maybe 4 feet.
The addition moves out 2 feet.
Well, we got.
Oh, yeah, no, there, yes, that's correct, yeah.
This moves out.
Yeah, that's correct. So we're adding roughly 316 square feet of space.
Okay. Does
But
anyone want
that doesn't include the, proposed south elevation, right?
Yes, yes, Diana, 316 is all-inclusive addition.
Okay, that's for both.
Yes, correct. And you can see the side that faces greater light is unchanged.
Unchanged.
Side that
You won't be able to see a
is
thing
that
from the
west
other
or
Howard
not?
Court road.
Correct.
So how many square feet did you say? the addition is?
316.
300, okay.
Single,
All on
all
one
single
floor.
story,
Yeah, I
yeah.
got it, okay.
Okay, Abby, are you ready?
Yeah, I believe I'm fine with this.
Okay.
I just wanted to see what it looked like on the lot itself, but I see that it's pretty minuscule.
Thank you. Val, you ready?
Yep,
Okay.
the only thing that I think is curious is the little window in the laundry room, if that could be something other than a 6-light.
Which elevator?
That
Oh,
would
is
be
that
on
the
the
B?
west,
Is
the
that the B
front.
window?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay. All
it
right.
looks like he's got enough room to.
Do you think you could turn that into a double hung or something?
Yeah, I
like
could
a
turn it in.
C,
I can turn it into a C valve.
yeah.
No
C
problem.
window?
Although, is that the thing? I think that's,
This is a
I
little
prefer a
double
C
hung.
than that.
Okay. Thank you, Val. Diane?
I am good with the other things. You're putting a basement, are you lifting the house? and
No.
putting-
No, the basement's just under the addition,
They're taking this off
okay?
Yeah,
and putting it
this
back
on, and
on.
then this.
The basement addition, Diane, is under the new section.
Right, under
Only.
the pro south, you
Correct.
see it most from the south,
That is
right?
correct, yes.
And you raise the roof of the second gable
A foot,
a foot, so you're
That's
using
right.
a smaller window in there?
correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it got wider.
Testing.
Yeah, wider and upper.
Yep.
And, on one of these drawings, I saw your AC. Is that where the AC is staying?
It's existing, we're not moving it.
Right, okay, I'm doing nothing with it,
No.
alright,
It's already there.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
It's in the photos.
Where is it?
It's on the side of the house,
on the side of the house,
behind
going
the hydrangea bushes.
So,
down the
It's
other side of
right
Howard.
top of
as
the
you
page,
make the
Ray.
corner.
It's right here. I didn't draw it because it's existing.
okay.
It's been there since
All right.
2009.
There.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
So Diane, anything else?
Nope, I wondered if he's got protection around the AC, you must have, and otherwise it's good.
Okay. Thank you. John?
Yes, you have 3 windows, not with B's, they're 6-light window, and they're highly visible, all 3 of them, on the
Mhm.
west elevation and on the south. Now, they're not,
Diane,
it's on the front of the house.
Diane just asked to change that, Val added it to a C, so we're gonna change that one to a C,
Let's go into a double hung, John.
okay?
All right, if that's
Okay.
cool, why can't these 2 that are visible go together?
These won't fit.
Huh?
They won't fit.
Are they
This one
fixed,
won't,
Stephen?
this one won't fit here, where it needs to fit, okay?
Well, larger, right, a little bit.
If they're-
The question is, as I have in the past, many of us, that, is it fixed, or does it tilt in, or does it tilt out?
I believe it's a 3/3, it doesn't tilt at all.
No.
It doesn't show as.
Doesn't show it's 3/3?
Wait
It
a
can
second.
be a 3/3.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
3/3 double hung?
Yeah, they make the small one,
Yeah.
these are,
Oh, it doesn't show that way.
okay,
It
I
shows
can make it
shows
that,
as
I can make it that way, if you want.
the B windows.
Yeah.
Well, I think
They're
John would be
custom
delighted.
made
Oops.
because they're from, Boston Sash,
Okay.
okay?
Being inside the old historic area.
All right. Okay, so you good with the 3/3?
303, right?
Yeah. And the other one, John,
Right.
that one is actually gonna turn into a, what was that number?
A C.
A C window, John,
Which is a double hung.
which is also a double hung.
That's gonna be sort of like,
This one.
this window,
This one. So, yeah, that one's gonna go here.
So, can I make
could be C window.
a motion?
You certainly can.
Can I make a motion to,
C window.
approve this back?
Yeah.
Can I finish?
Oh,
No,
I thought you had talked about the window and stuff, I'm sorry, John.
Window. Okay,
Hey, John,
they get the message.
John. So, well, the motion is going to be that the B windows, those ones that are 6-light, are gonna be 3/3s.
Double
And
hung.
that the one in the laundry room is actually gonna change to a C window, which is a 6/6 double hung.
What window is it now? A T,
Right now, it's a B.
It's a B.
B?
Yeah.
I got, B windows are going to change to C windows double hung.
No, only on the west. The
On the
rest
west.
of the Bs are gonna become double hung,
Okay.
3/3.
Is that your motion, Diane?
Yes.
Okay. All those in favor of Diane's motion?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, that was it for you?
That's it for
Okay.
me, yeah.
Oh, you know, could I just add one thing? So, HSAB was concerned about the, this is more for staff right now. HSAB was concerned about the age of the building. Could you or someone else from the office, Kadeem, just give them the series of Sanborn maps that show the 1923 thing?
Yeah.
Just so that they don't feel like we cut them out of the loop, all right?
Okay, thank you.
I noticed on that 23 thing that it looked like they divided the lot.
Yeah.
They
from
actually.
the big lot down to the smaller lot. And that's
No,
why-
the opposite happened. They had two small lots and they combined them and made a
that
bigger
way,
lot.
because they both marked
1923,
so
right.
it looked-
But
This
before
one is an
that,
update.
on the Sanborns, there were two smaller lots. And then once 1923 comes around, it becomes
They
one
add
big
the-
lot. Yeah.
and they left the house, so.
They changed the house, yeah. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thanks, Stephen. Okay, I'm gonna need to recuse from the following two items, which, Elizabeth is going to walk you through, okay? I can sign this thing.
Hi.
Alrighty, as soon as we
This is
get the
one?
plan,
Yeah, I guess the organization this is lovely.
Okay,
what's that?
here.
Alright, so what you got to say?
Who brought that mix? Is that Val?
What?
Did you bring that mix?
No.
Would you like some? No.
I think Diane.
It's for everybody. Yes.
Where does
Want
it
some?
come from?
Box. You know that website box?
Oh, no, I don't know.
Just go to boxcb.com.
It's big.
It's for everybody. We haven't had it for a while, and I just got it.
Okay.
So what are you doing?
Okay, so we were here before, you had already approved the swimming pool. It changed shape a little bit. It's a little bit shorter. It's 2 feet wider. The spa used to be separate. Now the spa is in it. And we had illustrated the walls on the site plan that was approved, but we didn't specifically call them out. So we wanted to make sure that those were approved. And then the gates, 2 are going against the house. Those would be the arbors on either side of the house a long way. And then the simple gates would go on either side of the garage in the stairs from the lower level to the upper level, and to make the pool kid safe.
Alrighty.
And the next application is for the sports court, but it's the same site plan, so the sports court is all the way back. And it may happen, it's a half a basketball court, and yeah, way back there, fully screened.
Way back here.
Oh, I don't have that.
No, this is approved and this is what she's asking to
Yeah.
change.
So the pool, that's,
Yeah, it was
You know,
already.
you can't see it.
is it an automatic cover or is it?
Yeah,
a-
but they still wanted to have some fencing.
So where does your fencing go?
Well, it's all highlighted. Basically, it goes the back of the pool, sort of around the periphery of the property with wire and vegetation, and then it's a wood section between the garage and the main house.
That's for the pool? Goes all the way around the basketball court?
Well, like you said, the pool has a cover.
So what's the fence for? This is Monomoy Road.
Yeah, and also if somebody was to wonder, but it's gonna be through plantings, Diane, like it's all planted.
Well, I'll start with, Abby.
But, so a question about the fencing, you were just about to explain that, is it that black plastic fencing in between rivet?
Yeah, we have we have, extensive mixture of plant material in the back. It's not just privet, it's more complex than that. There's viburnums, there's dogwoods, there's trees, there's privet. So it's like an extensive planting plan, it's not just a line of hedges.
And what is the material of the fence? then?
Well, where there's extensive vegetation, it would be the like you said, the black plastic, and here between the buildings where it's a little more formal, it would be a little thicker
Okay,
fence.
all right, gotcha. Okay, I think Diane was going that she didn't wanna see a whole, like, board fence, I think,
Right,
but I'm
it's
sure.
not board, just picket, where I think
So-
it's appropriate in Monomoy to have. a
Well, I
little bit of
appreciate
wood.
the pool ring reduced, we don't hear that very often. I'm okay with this application. Madam
Only
Chair.
question I have is why is all the fencing blue? I see the type 2 is a dark blue and the wire mesh is a light blue fence.
No, it's,
Is that just the line type you're describing, or
no, it's to highlight it.
that's you're describing the color of the line type, not the actual color
Right,
of the fence? I
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah, no, there's no blue fence.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Too bad.
Is
And
it
yeah.
post and, plastic line, the fence, when it leads in and out of the stuff growing there? What is the fence made out of again?
Well, where there's very dense vegetation, that would be the wire with the wooden posts. And then again, where it's a little more formal between the buildings, that's the picket fence. It says type 2 picket.
Yeah.
I don't know why, I'm sorry that it says dark blue, that's very confusing.
Light
Yeah, I'm sorry, it would be, I think on the application, it says white.
TJ. Oh,
Well,
Abby, did you finish? Did you?
Yeah, I'm okay.
My only
with-
question was about that blue thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry that it says that,
I think I'm fine with everything else. That basketball court, do you know the elevation of it? That sits quite a bit above the road, right?
It sits low, actually.
Does it? 'Cause
Yeah, it doesn't rise up back
Oh,
there.
so you're at like 18 maybe? Elevation 18? It's kinda-
19, and the road is at about 17. when you're at the-
17, okay. I know.
Yeah, but it's the same drawing, so you might as well.
Oh, okay.
This is across from the driveway going down 272 Monomoy. Aniston's her house is right down on the harbor.
It isn't anymore.
No, it isn't. It's a cute little house. But I just, I thought that plot was higher than 2 feet above the road.
So there's quite a bit of contours where the driveway comes in is low.
Yeah.
And towards the back where the basketball court's gonna go, that's low, and then the house sits obviously a little bit higher. And that's why, there's some walls.
TJ, is that all you wanted to have?
I would also ask, you show top of wall elevations here.
Mhm.
I'm not really sure a lot about the bottom of the wall. Do you have like a rough estimate about the
18 and a half.
net height?
18 and a half.
Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Towards the parking, it goes down a little bit, so it might be like 17 and a half, because we
Mhm.
have to drive under.
Okay.
Johnny?
Yes, I have a question. Number 4, the double vehicle gate, where is it?
It's here.
That was my question too.
It will be
How
open,
many are on
it will be
Monomoy
open
Road?
most of the time.
And
That's it, right?
Yeah.
I can't think that.
it's the,
Huh?
5 foot,
I think you would remember the guy.
5 foot gate here.
5 foot wide, not 5 foot high,
Old man,
5 foot wide.
How come?
Cumber.
It's 4 feet at the middle.
Macumber.
No, there's further down.
So about the fence on the street, the gate, I'm just trying, and I'm drawing a blank, how many houses on that street have that?
A lot of gates in Monomoy, a lot of vehicular gates, all the way down the street. I've done quite a few of them, through HDC.
Well, it's got the two granite posts, and it's
It's
kind of a simple gate, and
Yeah,
I
it's
imagine
pretty.
it's gonna be open most of
Yeah.
the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's the only entrance.
Yeah.
There's one right across the street.
That's what, at 68? He's got a gate?
I think so. I work,
I think
I work,
you did the,
yeah, I work for the Lions there, they have a
I'm gonna
gate.
make a motion to approve.
let me get Johnny what he has.
He was good.
Johnny, you got anything you want to say? Okay, so a motion to approve, all those in favor?
Aye.
And now we'll look at,
I'd also make a
basketball.
motion to approve the basketball court.
cause it's right, cause we already
We've already
did.
seen it.
Okay, Johnny, we're making a motion to approve the basketball court, cause it was really on this plan. Is that okay with you? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Thank you.
All right.
You got it. Thanks, Abby.
Okay, now we are on 171 Orange. There we go. Hi there. Okay. So, could you two state your names for the record?
Dan Mooney
Dan Mooney, yes.
and Anna.
All right.
This is not Ron, Dave and,
No,
no, okay,
it's
all.
right.
yeah.
The blue house.
What is the fence type you're applying for?
It's a tongue and groove.
The rotary, and that's his,
Board fence.
this 171. Oh, that is, we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a sample circled on one of the photos.
So, where's it
Not
go?
on the line, it's inside the property.
Yeah.
So, can you just give us the lowdown of what you're doing?
It's basically dividing 171 and 175.
Yeah.
With a
Ha-
fence?
Yes, partially.
Okay,
The front yard on Orange Street would be open.
Is
gotcha.
it literally that red
Yeah.
line?
Yes.
Right there? That's
Oh,
Yeah,
That's it.
it's about
Like
80 feet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, so guys, I think that's pretty simple.
yeah,
You all know where this is?
Yes.
This is by the duck crossing.
It's where
Or
Bob
one of the
Ruby's
duck
house is,
crossings.
the blue house
One
with the
more
eyebrow
in
Yeah.
from that.
windows.
But so,
Used to be
if
across
you look
the
at,
house.
if, John, if you look at this document right here, they want a board fence is basically the length of that little red line that you see there.
right.
You see that? It's just on the side, and it's just to separate them from their neighbor here.
And what's the tongue and groove look like? Sorry.
Is it
There's
a
one.
picture?
There's a photo. It's a sample. That's the Rotary
Oh, right
Restaurant.
here?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the next
Oh, that's
door.
at the Rotary?
Yeah.
That's exactly between them.
On the other side.
And, I believe that's 5 feet high,
Going
I
Or
think that is
6?
more than six,
Yeah,
that
it's
one.
more than
But we
6.
wanted, yes,
6 is fine.
6, yeah, because that's a 5, that's what we call a 5 and 1, which is 5 feet of board, 1 foot of lattice on
Okay.
top. So that's 6 feet
Yeah.
at least.
We'll do the board
Well,
fence.
Okay,
I think he wants the full board fence, not the,
Yeah.
not the.
Yes.
fence.
I understand, so,
Uh,
but 6 feet, but it's going between 2 properties and it's not even
It's off the
approaching.
street, right?
Yeah,
It's way off the street.
50 feet, yes. Okay, any comments, questions, concerns about this application? Yes, sir.
You mentioned that she's gonna be separate between 171 and 175,
Correct.
okay. I
And
think-
3
I think we're
spots.
on-
And
I
And three.
think we're on the wrong lot.
And 3 Sparks is in the back
Sure.
yard. 3 Sparks is the back.
Wait, he just explained to me, this is where you want it,
Yeah.
here to here,
Yes.
that doesn't separate 171 and 175.
Well, it's not gonna go all the way in the front, but it's just, there's a marker.
Go to the numbers, 171 is here, and
No, this is
175,
it, 171's here.
that's 55,292.
No, he's talking
Oh,
about the
street number.
street number.
Sorry.
It's his property is
Right.
171. That's the red number.
Okay,
The
he's
one
back
that's-
here.
He's the one circled with blue. The property is circled in blue, John. Yeah. So if
What
you,
I'm saying is, this here is 55,292.
yeah, no, that's the map and parcel. If you look at the number underneath that.
Yeah, that's 171.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So their property number, right there, 171, that's them. And 175 is that guy right there.
Well, that's why I asked him, I asked why 171 is back here. Was a mistake.
It's all right.
Okay.
I don't miss.
All right, so,
Motion to approve is submitted.
okay, we have a motion on the table to approve as submitted. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, there
Great,
you go.
thank you.
I'll take those applications back.
All right. Anybody here for 2 Prospect, a shed?
That's the
No?
shed that's built right on the street.
Oh,
It's
not,
partially built.
not the plastic one.
No, oh, no, but one of
You have a
those
pic-
cropped up
see
today
that
in Nantucket, right at the boat ramp.
Okay, but at least as regards to Prospect Street, it looks like we are gonna hold that for representation.
Yeah, because
Well
it's a
moved.
very curious location.
Okay. So
Motion
there's
to
been a
hold
motion to
for
hold this for representation. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Very good. Next up, Ben Norman Residential Design. It came as a little bit of a shock to me. Is that a new
Did it?
thing or?
Yeah, it's pretty new. Yeah, it's pretty new.
Like how
So
new?
Mickey is transitioning into retirement.
Lucky
I'm
him. Jeez.
I
slowly
am too.
acquiring his files and doing my own thing.
Oh,
So yeah,
oh, so you're not like breaking off, you're just sort of.
yeah, I'm basically just taking
moving
over.
up the code.
But you have a nice office.
And I continue to have a nice office.
It's a great
so-
Yeah, oh, that's great. Okay, cool.
And a good reputation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice of you to say.
Very key.
Thank you.
Well said.
You haven't seen the South Station yet, I think.
I'm sure it's great.
It's fine.
So, let's see.
So on Kelly Road, Bo is looking to build a home for his family. He's had this little cottage that you have pictures of there for quite a while, and is essentially outgrown it. So we are looking to build a pretty traditional, or very traditional, 5-bay colonial. It will be stick built. It's not a Huntington home. So this will be the primary dwelling on the property. The cottage will remain, but be the secondary dwelling.
Where are the pictures of it? The cottage?
Yeah, Ray's got them, yeah.
So,
little one
can I ask
person.
you a question?
Sure.
The cottage, oh, it's staying?
Yep.
Okay, so
Yep.
you don't need to nix the cottage?
No.
Oh, it's adorable.
All right,
She
so, yeah, and it's just a simple 5-bay colors?
Platinum gray is what we're asking
Oh,
for.
wow.
Okay.
Dual gray roof.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, I'm living over there, on 81 Pulpus, which isn't too far from Kelly Road.
Yeah.
And every night I take a walk, and I walk left and a right, and I've seen all kinds. I think this is very appropriate for the neighborhood. Just wanna say.
Ditto.
29 feet high.
Yep, we're just pushing that 30-foot height.
This isn't a stick built, right?
It is, he's gonna stick build it, yeah.
Stick built.
Yeah.
As opposed to
where's
a
the
prefab.
Oh.
You know, like a Huntington.
This is the old-fashioned style.
Yeah, the old style. Okay. Diane, was that you who said 29 or John? John said 29. John, do you have a concern with the 29 or? Oh, okay. I'll come back to you. How about you, Diane?
No, there are at least two of the houses that come in at that height.
Yeah.
I
Over
did bring
there.
pictures, I hate to show them because I know you guys know the area.
I just
but-
wanna see the pictures of the
But the-
cottage.
If you go all the way
Oh.
down
Wait, we have them.
Yeah.
Kelly Road, you go to
One
the
moment.
guy who used to be the head of the school, his house.
Yeah, exactly.
Tall.
Alan.
Yes, yes.
And I did one for a
Mine.
guy named Callahan.
Alan Meyer.
Yeah, his son's house is also.
Yeah.
very
It was
tall.
a modular.
Also back
Where
there.
your
Same.
building is, I used to own that.
So, just one question.
Yeah.
The trim colors aren't gonna match,
No, that one's white. He doesn't want to go white. He wants
but
to-
is this gonna be like wide open? Will there be some differential with vegetation, or are we gonna look at a white house and a black house?
The intention is that cottage will be a rental property for him. So, although we don't have a landscape plan, that what I'm understanding is that he wants separation from that cottage so that he can rent it and he can live in his own house. So I don't think it'll read as a one property. It'll read as two houses that share a driveway. They're not supposed to be matching.
What do you call the house?
Platinum gray.
Platinum gray, John.
And what are the windows?
The windows are also platinum gray. He's gonna use Marvin so he can get a custom color.
There's not very much vegetation on that corner.
John has just, I'm gonna hold the motion just for a second. You had another question, Diane?
No, I just said they will have to put up some planting if they're going to separate the cottage
Oh,
from the
yeah,
mainland.
yeah, I think that's the intention, to rent one and live in the other one. So
Right.
John has made a motion to approve as submitted. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Thank you very much.
And Norman, we'll see you around.
Dang,
be
we're
back.
signing something.
Okay, 34 Dukes.
Did we sign the envelope?
No, I'll get
Sorry.
Great call.
Picture of the house,
Not built yet.
drawing of the house.
Not with me.
I feel like I'm a broken
It's
record.
a disaster. This one just recently went through.
I know, but we look at 1,000 of them, Lindsay.
Who,
Remember, who did the plan?
Yeah.
Matt McEachran, I believe. Because this is the two next to each other, 32 and 34.
Oh, is this Eddie Tools?
Ed Tools. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Lindsay Congleton for the applicant. So we're looking to do, well, this is a full-on landscape plan. Retaining wall in the front because of the way the house sits higher than the road. Kept it to 30 inches high, so we can avoid any railings. And then the pool is on the side of the house, but that's mainly just due to the elevations coming down the backside of the property. We've put a lot of screening in front along the road with evergreen screening, so that to block visibility from the road. Obviously, they'd want to have privacy too, so people aren't staring at people on Duke's Road while they're at the pool. Not a big amount of patio space. Kind of kept it minimal. Kind of kept the landscape simple.
If I remember correctly, it slopes this lot.
It does. Yep. Which is why we have that retaining wall and the 30-inch wall in the front of the house to help with the grades. It's very similar to the house next door.
But again, no photos, nothing.
Right, you know, it's like right there.
I just can't remember. Somebody has a weird roof over there too.
Yeah.
A weird roof.
Yeah, the
what
shingles
number?
are like kind of a weird shape.
We put the first solar shingles up. On one.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
that's-
way down.
That's way down and
Yeah,
on the other side of the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barrett.
This is
Set back.
this is like midway down Duke's Road, on the left-hand side.
It is on the left-hand side.
It's on the left-hand side. Yeah.
Okay.
When you're coming from Nantucket Road, it's on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
So, what's the screening
Is-
for the pool?
Evergreen screening. We're gonna do a mixture of like native trees and evergreen trees and viburnums and bayberries.
Does the pool have a cover or?
It does have an auto cover,
Okay, so you're not.
so we don't
calling
have
for
to
a
have the fence. Yeah, no fence.
I think the only, I just can't remember it, so I'm struggling with saying yes without really remembering it.
saying yes to the pool or just
To
the landscape in particular?
To the walls and all that.
The way I'm reading this, I could be wrong, but you have a maximum 2-foot high New England fieldstone wall that basically is, it's a little bit of an L shape at the front of the property, and then that continues.
I think it's 30 inches high at the most. We're keeping it 30 inches or under because we
I
want
saw
to avoid.
22 here, and I saw
There's a 17, I think it, or 17 and a half. Or no, wait, sorry, 19 and a half is the driveway, I believe.
oh,
But it would be no more than 30 inches because
Okay.
we're doing it to avoid any railings, because we don't want to have a railing in the front of the house.
yes.
Because it's already kind of, we're kept it to a minimum, the wall.
Okay.
And it's New England fieldstone. We've actually got plants going in front of it to soften
Yeah,
it a little
grasses are in front of and behind, correct?
bit. Yep.
All right. So the pool cover deal, no fencing,
Mm-hmm.
and the only screening, the only way to screen the pool from Duke's Road is going to be your sumac, your bayberry, and whatever else you have.
Yeah,
this whole cryptomeria.
Yeah, this whole thing
Oh,
here is all planted screening.
Well, the sumac and the bayberry aren't
Are
going to be much,
deciduous,
but
right.
the cryptomeria is.
Yeah, and we'll probably mix in some spruces too, just to kind of mix
Right.
it up a little bit.
Well, so.
But it'll have to be screened
Lindsay,
in perpetuity.
you know, we're gonna, exactly, we're gonna append that stipulation to this. So, the pool will get the usual stipulation. Does anybody have any concerns, questions about any other aspect of the landscape as proposed that we should be discussing?
Any fencing being used?
No, no fencing. John has got an automatic pool cover.
Oh, all right.
I'm gonna hold the motion just for a second. Anything else to add to that? Cause I am gonna have John add the, pool will not be visible at, time of inspection and thereafter clause.
Yeah.
But does anybody else, any other things that are
I
problematic?
just, I am not comfortable because I don't remember exactly, you know, what any of this looks like.
Are you uncomfortable about the 30 inches of stone wall on Duke's
And
Road?
I know there's stone walls there, I just, it's okay, you guys
No,
voted
because
through.
I was gonna say-
I'm just gonna recuse or abstain or whatever the proper terminology is.
Abstention.
I was gonna say if Val was, if it was the stone wall, we could make the vegetation something that was, not grasses, but something that was, like an evergreen that would.
Well, the grasses are gonna soften it.
Well, can I just say something? I don't remember exactly who was sitting on it, but, there was an application for a house that was already built that was like surrounded with stone. Remember the stone walls all over the place? This is right, you know, it's down the street from this.
Oh, yeah,
You know, with the
one.
guest house
Right,
and
right,
all
right.
that. I
Two
mean,
on either
that's
side
like
with
a
the-
whole quarry worth of
Well,
stone.
that's true.
So I think that 30-inch stone wall, particularly when it has the grasses growing in front, should be okay. So, John, there is a motion on the table. John has a motion to approve. And can we do the stipulation about the pool won't be visible? So John has made a motion to approve as submitted with the stipulation that the pool will not be visible at the time of inspection or thereafter. All those in favor of John's motion? Aye. Anyone else in favor of?
I'm abstaining.
And, Abby?
I'm fine.
You're fine. Okay, so 4 in favor, 1 abstention. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. How about 2 Howard Court? That's fine.
I thought we were just.
No, we didn't have
7.
That was another Howard Court. So Brooke's not here, huh?
No, you want me to represent
No.
No, Linda.
Are you
No.
joking, or is this yours?
I'm kidding. No, I'm not. I have nothing to do with
Oh, do you wanna hold for representation
Wait.
for 2 Howard Court then?
Oh, I see, you're Crooked Lane.
I am.
He's crooked, period.
Well, so, What'd she say? She was talking about me.
Should we hold 2 Howard Court then for representation?
Wait, are you telling them that we're up? Billy?
Brooke?
Yes.
No, Brooke is in New York. He will not be here.
So we're holding,
All right.
two.
I didn't know anything
Thank you for
about
that information.
I-
All right, so then I think that we need to hold Howard Court.
That's what I've been trying to say.
But he
I know,
usually
I
does
just-
really nice stuff. I'm happy to say.
Motion to hold 2
Okay.
Howard Court for
We're gonna,
representation.
all those in favor of Abby's motion to hold number
Yeah,
9
no,
to Howard Court
Well,
for representation?
Okay.
Aye.
aye.
Okay. Now,
21 Crooked Lane, it confused me with the one Westchester extension. I could not figure out where the hell it was going.
because it's actually
The
at 1
assessors
Westchester.
changed.
And we're gonna hold Brooks stuff.
No.
No,
we
Billy's here
held
for
one.
21 Crooked.
It should be noted as well.
Billy is representing his project, which he
Right.
worked with Brooke with, obviously, at 1 Westchester Extension, okay? So,
And part of this application removes a pool from Lindsay.
Oh, wow.
So we're at a net
Net
even.
zero.
Net zero.
Okay. All right, so this is on your property, Billy?
It is, and I'm not
Okay.
sure that you can really even see too much.
I've been out there. The only place you can see this is Nantucket Road, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, even specifically if you're standing right in front of it because of the, so what's happening here is the town has expressed an interest in turning this property into the new Salt Marsh Center. And to accommodate that,
Really?
Wow.
yes,
Oh,
and
Oh.
to accommodate that, I have hired an outfit by the name of AKF Group of Boston, who specifically for code compliance as regards public access and ADA. And 2 things crop up immediately. One is that we are required to have a gurney-capable elevator, and another is a LULA lift, a limited use, limited access, 3-step giddy up.
Right.
Which is, the lift is right here, that wall already exists, that window already exists. We brought the wall 4 feet forward. This faces Nantucket Road.
Right.
And is probably 700 or better feet off of the road.
Right.
And in fact, Abby, as you pointed out, I don't even know if you can see that, but be that as it may, it is quite a bit in the distance.
Minimal.
The elevator is accommodated right here. And so what we've done is just bring the library gable further forward and added in the east elevation 1 window. So this,
Oh, I see.
this has come over.
Used to be this long, and now you added that
Exactly.
much on. and
Exactly.
that- Okay.
And that's it.
Easy, peasy.
And you got a fence or something, which, that's gonna be a ramp, right, Billy?
I'm joining the
That
Salt
little,
Marsh Center.
this thing.
There's no,
Why
there's,
not?
Well, don't we get to vote on it
there's no fence.
Well,
as a town?
I've never heard of it, but I'm gonna start playing bridge there and taking my pills there. And
So the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you will. What I was talking,
It's supposed to be the elder services building?
Yeah, I know.
It's-
It's good move.
so Katie and I are making a deal with the, or we may, with the Salt Marsh Senior Center and that group. We have found out since then that there are different, there's elder affairs, there's this, there's that, and the other thing. But we have specifically been speaking to, John, who have we been talking to? His group at the Salt Marsh Center.
Yeah, who do the play?
It's, I don't wanna say that because I'm not sure that it's right, but there's, the town owns the real estate down at the Salt Marsh Center.
Yes.
There is another group that owns the real estate, that owns the building,
Oh,
in any event.
yeah.
So this would be the home, the new home of the senior center, and it is more than, it's more than necessary, or
It's more than they could ever wish for.
well, setting that aside, there are other uses that can happen at the same time, as well as an expansion of the uses that exist. But I'm getting off topic. I just wanted to
Okay,
show Val
so-
and Diane, this is the library that now exists.
Right.
And by moving this gable towards the Nantucket Road,
Gesundheit.
Bless you.
that's 8 feet or 7.5 feet.
Good.
That accommodates the elevator, that accommodates the shaft. And then,
What kind of
3 Hail Marys.
elephant, Billy? what
Blessings
is it?
on you, Joe.
I need them, yeah.
because
There's
it's,
second floor space.
because it's a public access issue.
That- You got stuff up on the second floor?
Yeah, I know.
There's office space,
Oh,
or
okay.
presumably,
And
it's
basement.
it's labeled as office space and the basement. And the basement is a big activity
Yeah.
area.
And you would
Okay.
have the llamas up there, huh?
Billy, it's a
Okay.
great idea. I'm glad it's happening. Now, in terms
Val,
of
this right here comes 5
the
feet
architecture and
forward.
what we're reviewing,
Yeah.
John, do you have any comments or questions about the application? There's Billy.
Lulu platform.
Oh,
It's a wheelchair lift. It's like if you go down to the
Artists
Graydon
Association.
House, or new
Oh, I see.
new facilities, the Graydon House and Nantucket Hotel.
you're in a wheelchair, John. We'll get you up like half a level.
I can't wait to get old.
This is only going up 20.
Hey, you can have my half of it.
Yep.
This is, that pretty quick.
Can I
That
go
was-
on these?
That was where the pool was.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I was on
or
the
did you just
original-
circle it or he circled it?
When Billy came, in the original plan,
Brooke
spent
circled it.
long
I don't know
time.
why he circled it.
and it's a lovely looking
Could be the fence.
building, different than most that you find.
I had no idea why
Very
he circled it.
distant.
It was there because there was a pool behind
And
it.
it's got
There's no pool there.
a fence around it, and
Yeah.
it's not gonna make any difference, the building is so complicated,
What,
not.
what this is we've priced
Yeah.
everything, so
Couldn't see it
now
all.
it seems
Yeah.
to be that
Okay.
everybody wants to do this, but there's economics that we need to talk about. So we need to put all this on paper and price it, and then a decision can be made.
Okay. So, John, are you okay? Or,
Oh, motion
You
to
good?
approve.
okay, Abby has made a motion to approve as submitted. All those in favor?
Aye.
None.
Aye.
No interest in making a comment.
Do we need to
Okay,
say
now we got a
pickleball
pickleball court, which
What
I'm
is-
sure is a grade, right?
What the hell is
It is
pickleball?
at grade, and ask Julie Fitzgerald what it is. It's,
I've played.
Barn
you
rack.
have?
Yeah,
You're the first person I've met that's played. It's,
yeah, it's kind of
you
cool.
have?
It's
It's
very
20 by
popular.
yeah, it's
44.
America's fastest growing sport. They say.
Is
But
there
it's basically-
any fencing? Is that what we just need to be concerned about?
It's like a short
This is-
court
this
and
is-
it's racket sport.
Oh, you use a racket.
This
Yeah.
is not going to be fenced.
Yeah, I don't.
It's 20 by 44 is the court size.
Yeah, you can't
Sorry,
see
I
it.
I missed the most important part.
I would
Did you
make
say
it
it was fenced or not fenced?
not fenced.
Not fenced. So it's at grade, kids.
Yeah,
It's
motion
20
to
by.
approve.
Thank you.
You couldn't see it.
Any further discussion on the motion? All those in favor of the motion to approve as submitted?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Oh, these.
John, you okay? It's at grade. There's not even any fencing, John.
You can't see it anyway.
Okay. Sir. Let's see.
Is it me now?
Was that it?
Oh, you're all set, man. You're good to go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Nice to see you, Billy.
Huh?
Three novelists, is that the next one?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna ask a question. Is anybody here, we passed over item 6 for representation. Is anybody here for that? No, okay, good. So Val, it's to you.
Thank you.
Val, you want to do anything?
Oh, yes,
Start up.
number 12. One more, yep. This is a building that's under construction on Fairgrounds Road, or just off the Fairgrounds. And we're asking to dress up the front facade of the main section of the building with some clapboard and some, like an extra little piece of trim above the windows. And more trim around the door, and to change the mudroom door to a 4 light from a solid 4 panel.
What color?
The trim is Quaker gray, the windows and doors are black, and we want the clapboard to be, I believe, a gray. What is it? Oh wait, I got it here.
We have it at
Cliffside. Cliffside gray.
Yep.
Is that
Which
lighter?
is not the same color as the trim.
Correct, it's a lighter gray.
Lighter gray than the trim.
Correct.
Okay, all right. Okay, we're all on this. TJ, you're on it, obviously. Yes, sir. Okay.
I'm fine with it.
Okay, thanks.
Looks good.
Thank you. Diane or John?
I have no problem.
Okay, thank you. John, any comments or questions?
Yeah. One more. You're gonna add more trim here.
To
Yeah.
the door.
What is this door?
That door was a solid door. We want it to be a 4 light so it matches the windows.
What is this, 6 light?
That's a 9 light. And then add clapboard on that one piece, the front.
What?
Add clapboard on that
yeah.
front.
What color?
Beautiful.
Cliffside gray. And the trim is,
Which is a light gray.
right,
I guess.
and the trim is Quaker gray.
Up, he's folding up.
Oh,
John has made a motion to approve.
And I second that.
All those in
Okay.
favor of John's motion to approve is submitted.
Aye.
Very good. Okay, now we're ready act.
This is a duplex in a mixed-use neighborhood that's very commercial. It's Elrose Road. I have pictures of all the other houses on the street. They're just big, commercial enterprises, and so I think this fits in. It's a modular by Huntington. It's housing for the fish and meat market staff.
Oh, okay.
Here's the pictures of the neighborhood.
All right. Okay, we have a letter, which I will read from David Buckley.
Okay.
Is he?
He's a neighbor, probably.
Sounds like he might.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the granite guy across the street, right? David Butler?
No, I think
No,
he's
no.
an attorney.
David Buckley is an attorney.
Yeah.
He used to work at Cohen,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cohen, and now he's on his own. So it says, John, Ready Act LLC has an application, John Hedden, of course.
Yeah.
Ready Act LLC has an application for a new dwelling at 7 Salrose Road. This is on the HGC agenda for tomorrow. Application attached. My family and I own 8R and 10 Knobska Way. Each of these properties either directly abuts or closely neighbors 7 Salrose. Our properties at 8R and 10 Knobska also benefit from a private right of restriction and enforcement that burdens the property at 7 Salrose Road.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either. I'm sending this note to encourage the members of the HEC to approve the attached. Well, that's interesting. Okay.
Letter of support.
Okay, this is like the 11th hour turn.
Yeah, and
you
why
know,
wouldn't
like-
he send it to me ahead of time?
No, but listen to this. I'm sending this note to encourage the members of the HCC to approve the attached application as submitted.
Thanks, neighbor.
Wow, I was
He's
getting ready for
He's giving you an endorsement.
wow.
I have no idea what the whole restriction thing is. He doesn't go into detail, but the bottom line is, he's basically saying that he's in a butter on the back, and that he's in favor of this application.
Yeah,
So there it is.
It's a very good looking building.
Something else?
Oh, give me that. That's Nantucket.
Give me that.
Give me that.
All right, well, if the neighbor sends a note like that, that's some of our
And
concerns.
just so you know, it's natural to weather trim, forest green sash and doors, Harvard slate, Ico, roof shingles, which is pretty in keeping with the neighborhood. Everything's natural
These
to
are just
weather.
context, right?
That's just neighbors.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this is where David Butler has his shop. I believe that's.
Yeah, but
this
he's
building.
across the street. This is Buckley, the guy that wrote.
No.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Okay.
But I'm just putting it in context.
Yes.
This is David Butler's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It looks like it belongs.
Yeah,
Okay.
it will improve
And you-
the streets greatly.
Thank you, Diane. And it's natural weather trim, right?
Forest green doors and windows.
Okay, very inconspicuous. TJ, you got anything on this?
No, I'm fine with it. Motion to approve.
Okay, I'm gonna hold the motion. John?
Where is it on here?
Let's see. Let's look at this. Right here. Right here. Huh? Right here.
Have you been there?
Yes, I went there today to bring you the pictures.
Where is it, going here or over here? What's on that?
It's on here. Why does it need to be highlighted on here? It's right here. This is the lot.
Okay.
Right there. And it's going right here. Okay. I thought it was a trick question.
Oh, we have a motion from TJ on the table.
Okay, all those in favor of TJ's motion to approve?
Aye.
Aye. All right, next up, 30 Huntington Street.
This was just approved, a modular out there for David and Gretchen Callahan. Natural to weather trim, forest green sash and doors, black architectural roof.
Yeah.
We're asking to change from 6/6 to 2/2. And to move the cellar entrance to the rear. Nothing about the
John.
building is changing,
John.
just the grills.
I love these.
I think it means it doesn't like the purple.
No,
She gave them to me, the whole bag of them.
it's really, they're really good.
Thank you.
Okay, so there's that. So, this discussion is about 2/2s to replace 6/6 and a bulkhead. Am I right?
Moving the walk-down cellar stairway to the rear.
Oh, moving it. Okay, we already approved it elsewhere. Comments?
I don't care.
Nothing
Okay.
else is changing.
All right.
TJ, have anything on this one?
Not looked at it yet. So did the grill patterns changing and a couple doors?
Yeah, well, I'm changing them to match from a 6-panel to a 4-panel and
And,
a 9-light to a.
Oh yeah, I'm fine with this.
Okay. Diane?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. John? Are you making a motion? Okay, so John has just made a motion to approve as submitted. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Right?
Well, I've been trying to contact my wife and she's AWOL, so.
Let's, hold, 15, 16, and 17, till the end of the evening, or,
Till she gets here.
yeah, till she
Thanks.
gets here.
Well, I obviously can't vote on that, so,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are we holding 6 Nantucket Road?
We're holding 12, 13, and.
No.
15, 16, 17.
John, those are mine. Lisa's supposed to be here. Lisa, but she's
No, his
not
wife.
here, so we're gonna hold for rep. Okay, and 18 was already held, so that we are now on
Testing,
to
testing,
Upshot
testing.
Hollow.
19,
Testing,
which is
testing.
15 Wood Hollow Road. Is there anyone here representing 15 Wood Hollow?
Motion to hold for
Good
representation.
lord.
Aye.
Wow. Okay. Aye. Alright, so we're holding Chip Webster for representation.
What number are we on?
We are
Now we're on 20.
We're on-
You want the fun
Whiskey
mix?
sour.
Oh, yeah.
Dave Kim.
Do you want any, like, Amaro in that whiskey sour?
Oh, you're,
I'd like some,
yeah.
an orange slice.
Yeah, I could do that.
Those are so good, bad.
I could do that for you, sweetie.
That stuff's fabulous.
Number we on?
Thank you.
20.
Tom, we're actually on 20 now. Yeah.
Thank you, Diane.
No one's
Yes,
here.
thank you, Tom.
Right, what happened to Wood Hall? Number 19.
But that's
Chip,
been crossed
Chip
off.
Webster was not here, so we held that for representation. Okay, so Richmond. Oh, I see.
Oh, I'm sorry. My moving out of the plate. Would you like some next?
No, thank you.
You sure?
I'm good. I think I'll go home and have dinner.
Watching the
pretty soon,
carbs.
Don't talk about dinner.
Is that,
Okay,
is that it?
so we have, this application is for, it says 10 and 12.
Yes, it's two parcels.
Okay, one building spanning 2 parcels.
Correct. The building doesn't really span 2 parcels, but the whole development
I see.
with the parking and everything.
Okay.
Is this just because I can't remember the parcel that has the elevated grade and we never resolved the retaining?
I don't think so. Ethan Griffin, I'm on behalf of the agent, which is Rescom Architectural Inc. This area is currently, I think, being used by Tom Hanlon as his yard for the landscape business. This is the Cape Cod Express building, which is right next to it. So there's a.
Do you have a picture of the site though?
I didn't. It basically looks like it's got these pines in front, and then there's a granite post with Tom's logo on it, and it's basically just.
So there's not
There's
a
no
big-
mound. I mean, he might have some like landscaping.
You know the
debris.
one I'm talking about? We never resolved?
Hell yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, there doesn't look like there's ever been any
just
fill.
disappeared.
It's at the grade of
Well,
the
no,
road.
so they put in some new roads and what happened was where there was existing buildings and property, it goes.
I tell you where they put that granite curb in, and there's that huge mound up from
Yeah,
there.
that.
That's close to the backside of where like what was that printing place used to be in the mailboxes.
Oh, yeah.
Partial.
This
plot.
is way down
Okay,
at the end of Dave
okay.
Kim.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
never
Okay.
finished that.
No.
Asked permission to go.
Yeah, I
in
saw that curb actually when I was driving through there. It's pretty sweet.
It's single story.
It basically is
With
this
a-
exact
well-
building, but with a shingled sidewall front. That's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting. So it's got this really minimally pitched roof.
Yeah, it's like a 1. And then I've got the color chips for the file, if anyone wants.
Okay.
I don't really know this area. Can somebody else tell me about it?
It's Richmond Development.
Oh gosh.
I know, but are there other things like this around?
Yeah.
He just
But
showed
most-
you one.
Yeah,
Most
this
of them
is
have windows.
this is one of the nicer
Doesn't
examples.
that one have
there.
windows?
This is
Not
where-
facing the street. This is all garage bays on the side, no
I know there's a
windows
garage back
facing the
there.
street.
Shepley. You know Shepley. Shepley's buildings are back there.
I don't know.
How long is that?
Do they have a building on the corner of Airport Road as well?
That's regular FedEx. This is FedEx ground. Currently, they used to have a building that was they're sort of
wait a minute.
staging.
FedEx used to be right across from the post office. Last building. and then they moved.
Right. Well, so this is FedEx Ground, which previously had their distribution center, kind of where they've just cleared everything at the Richmond development.
Oh.
So this is different than the one by the airport.
How long is this?
Can I say something? Ethan,
Yes.
I looked at this, I took one look at this and I said, this is a no-brainer. And then I looked a little more carefully and I realized these drawings are all at 1/8" scale, not 1/4" scale.
Oh, the typical.
So it's like twice as big.
Right.
Yes, it's a
It's
building
a big
that
building.
spans the entire length of the lot.
So
This-
tell me how long it is.
Oh, that's it's got to be.
It's gonna be
Is that
100
the
feet
site plan?
long.
Yeah.
More
it's-
than.
But
Yeah, it's about 150 feet
we
long.
didn't do
It says
buildings.
191.
192
There you
by
go.
51.
192.
We didn't do buildings that big without a break in them.
So, well, apparently somebody approved that. How
Yeah,
big is that building?
This is basically the same size. It runs the entire length. These are all kind of like long, deep lots, and this is like a
Is that literally the same size?
yeah, like literally, it's like a 8-bay. It might even be
Okay.
bigger.
It's just like 200 feet long.
Well, yeah, close. It's like 192 or something like that. So,
I mean, this is I think it's CL zoning. It's all these are all sort of commercial or CI, commercial industrial.
Ethan, is that building you're showing us next door?
I think
It's
so.
about a little over half the size of this. This,
Oh, that could be, yeah.
so
I honestly I didn't drive back there.
Yeah.
There's trucks and
I'm
stuff
just
here. I
looking at
sort
the
of drive
footprint.
around.
I cut both
got a couple
buildings,
bays.
it's almost 200 feet long, there isn't anything like that anywhere. Of all the commercial properties built, approved, we're going to be overrun with stuff that we're trying to make look somewhat as it fits into Nantucket and the 200 length building, the building next to it is not 200 feet.
The way this area is zoned is much more similar to what's going on out at the old coffin pit by the airport, like Tomahawk, Flint. It's all kind of shops and large
That's
kind
fine,
of
but they're
distribution
100 feet and 120 feet. I don't believe we have any proposal for 190 feet. And I just think there comes an end to making them bigger and bigger and bigger.
okay. Val?
I mean, the building per se, the style, I don't really have a feeling about, but I'm inclined to agree with Diane. I'd like at least the opportunity to see if there's anything even comparable
Yeah.
somewhere
I'd
for
have
us to
do
get
it.
a feel.
I don't know the area.
Yeah, I think that it would be important for us to view this thing.
It was on the view list. I don't know if that gets distributed.
It does. We're all busy people, Ethan.
What?
Now that we now that we know actually how big it is, because ordinarily we're looking for
Sharp.
1/4" scale
Sure.
elevations. Because I looked at this and I said, oh wow, it's just this tiny little storage building.
So
I was
quaint.
like,
Exactly,
wait a minute.
26.
There's no way
27.
you looked at this and said that.
No, I looked at these and I said, that's a normal
No,
garage.
he said
space."
Oh,
that's
right.
one story.
Well, think about it. Yeah, these are, we've got a giant trailer that's backing up to these. Just put some context in.
Yeah, it's 27 feet high.
Right.
We thought it was one story,
Okay.
so we got.
Hey, John, it's looking like
27
this
feet.
building is large enough that we want to view this one.
Yeah, so
Would that be
motion to
all right?
hold for a view.
Hang on, I want to hear what John has to say.
What's the length of the building?
195 feet.
It's like the Empire State.
Last time I was here, we were talking about the length of the eagle. So I gotta get a little silhouette of the eagle and start putting that on things.
I get 188 feet. Okay.
Close enough.
Yeah.
It's long.
Ballpark, I guess.
The building itself
Somewhere around
is
there.
27 feet high.
All right, so there is a motion on the table to hold this one for a viewing. All those in favor?
With
Oh, you want poles, either end? 27-foot high poles at either end.
Either end?
and the full end, so we get the full 190
So yeah,
foot.
each end of the gable will have,
Each end of the gable, so the poles will be a little bit less than 200 feet apart, 27 feet high. That's what they'll do, okay? So is that your motion, Abby?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all those in favor of Abby's motion to view with poles at either end of the gable?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, I just wanna make sure, let's see.
Do you want to bring Lisa up here?
Well, she's here now.
Yes, she was here a minute ago.
I know, she's
She
right there.
just showed.
Yeah.
Motion to reopen 15, 16, and 17.
Aye.
15.
15.
15, oh, she's 15.
15, 16, 17. Okay, thank you.
Alright, so 15 is.
How are you?
Been waiting for you.
How you doing today? Good?
Yeah, not bad. Good. I mean,
Is that yours, John?
yeah, that's yours.
I have,
You don't have this one, you have one there.
What's the pub mix?
Oh, the pub mix.
Thank you.
Oh,
that, he loves that.
Diane, it's very good. Stay away from the orange.
Orange hot. I will read the hashtag. It says, oh, other. Okay, but why not 4 lights? I don't know what it has to do with, but that's what it says.
Do you have any pictures, Lisa?
Of just the visibility pictures.
You mean this? Did you get these?
You want these here?
Oh.
I can send mine down. John, can you pass those to Val?
I know the house. Fine.
So you're just adding the porch windows and that's it?
That's it.
Okay.
And it's really, I think the visibility of it is limited from below. I mean, I think the idea is just to have some windscreen there, but have it as open as possible.
I think probably the reason they asked that is because there's 4 windows next to it with 4 lights instead of looking at the rest of the windows. I think these are more appropriate.
I do too.
Yeah.
Which windows are 4 lights?
Right next to the ones in the drawing.
Hold on a second.
Existing or
Proposed partial north elevation.
And, yeah,
Some more to it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
that might be
You mean
why
the
they
2 over
said that.
2s?
Yeah.
But then on the other side, you don't have that.
No. TJ.
I think it's appropriate. I think the pane size coordinates well with the existing pane
The house.
sizes.
Abby.
Yeah, I'll go along with the board.
Johnny.
Yes.
Have you got something you'd like to say?
Right? You can have it.
Did you see the pictures?
Yeah.
Give me one more second.
Second set of pictures. Here's some pictures. Again.
The pictures.
Thank you.
Did somebody say motion to approve?
John's pondering.
Okay, thank you. You got anything you'd like to say? No. All right,
Okay.
take a motion.
I think the,
Oh,
12 over 12 double hung. In the case of where it's going around the porch, they're the same size, why don't they put the same 12 over 12?
We are. If you flip that back a little bit, it's this drawing. This is the proposed.
Huh?
This is the proposed, so we are putting the same 12 over 12 windows.
Yeah, but they want to get through.
Yeah.
My question is, why don't they copy these. They're framed, they're double hung.
Because it's a porch, so usually they were done as just wind screens, so they're the same glass size. They don't need to operate though, because it's an open porch.
If it's an open porch, it's a windscreen, why to have pictures?
Because the pictures are there.
I'm just curious, because some of it is visible.
Yeah. Well, I think that they just want the wind protection from up above.
You know? I just think that where the rest of it all looks like typical plank frames,
Mm-hmm.
and this deletes it, you know? Anyway, all right, I have my question.
Okay, can I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Donnie?
Aye.
Alrighty. Then the next one is 36 Orange. 36 Orange Street. Oh, what does Hashem say?
I'm sure nothing good.
Prefer pre-approved single rail. White railing draws too much attention to third floor balcony. That is their little note.
I would just point out that the visibility of that is from, it's really far away. I mean, you can't see it from Union Street. There's buildings in the way.
Oh, I've got a solution though.
What, natural to weather?
No, I was gonna have it do the sort of where, you know, that wraps the corner and that be shingle, so it's not so much balustrade.
Although, where do you think you'll see it from? I'm just curious.
Well, I remember working on this, and that was a criteria for that third floor. They made it shingled.
Which is crazy, because the
I think it's just
yard
that,
is so.
you know what, I think it's just that it's a historic house and the balustrade just looks like you already have it, a lot of it on the first floor, and I think it's overkill. Just, you know, it's just, the balustrade is a lot noisier than a lot of shingles, so I suggest, you know.
I don't disagree with, I mean, I understand that, but again, I'm just looking at the visibility of it. I don't know where you see it from. You certainly can't see it from Orange Street, because it's tucked around the corner.
Well, no, but do you want us to view it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
I mean,
good for.
You know what, so it's, how far back from the roof line is this?
It's set back, it dives into the corner.
It's like 6 feet from the far right corner when you're on the east elevation, so it sits far into the center of the house.
So from Orange Street, you'll never see it.
I think it's probably just because it's gonna be more white. Is there?
I think that we're sort of getting micromanaging something that's had little or no visibility. I prefer the shingle rail, but I'm fine changing the railing. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
What you like?
That I prefer the shingle, but
are you going to extend it across that third window?
No. It's only 10 feet long, and it's 6 feet away from the corner. So it's really towards the middle of the building.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we.
No, I'm just for my own.
I know, when you look at the side elevation, it feels like it's right there, but it's really set
It
way.
goes 7 feet out. What? Well, okay. So what if it didn't go out?
Donnie, do you have?
Well, we're doing it on the existing deck. We're not changing the deck size.
Yeah, did you see the picture?
Yeah, we're just replacing that.
Are you got anything you'd like to say?
Oh, why is that?
Looks like a veranda house.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's such an unusual house anyway.
So you're changing the first floor one too? Because right now it's shingled.
On the one side, we already got approval to change it.
Oh.
Yeah.
On the left side, we
Yeah.
added the pergola and got approval to change that to open already. on our previous application.
So everything on that east elevation is
Either
all
white trim or this,
going to be,
it's already
we're not
existing.
No.
shingled.
It's already
No, we're
existing
leaving
element.
the
It's gonna look fine.
shingled walls on the right side because there's a built-in bench there. So we didn't want to open that up on the first floor.
That would look better, I
Okay.
was saying,
The
white
left
trim in
side
the
will
first
be
place, so.
balustrade, and then the second floor exists as balustrade.
Okay, so what most people will see is all balustrade.
I don't think you'll see the back of this house. I think that's my point.
I don't
I mean,
think,
at
I
such a
think,
distance.
I live on Union Street, but when you came up before, I looked and see whether you could see it, the roof and all the rest of it, and we could not. So do we have a motion?
Yeah, motion to approve.
All right,
I'll second it.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Alrighty, thank you. Lisa,
One
we have
more.
one more.
Yeah.
What, 65 Monomoy Road?
We looked at that with Elizabeth earlier.
Oh,
That house.
Yeah,
the basketball court?
yeah,
Yeah.
but this is something
This is
else.
just the house. We're
This
adding
is
some
adding a
shutters.
dormer.
Adding a dormer on the back away from the road. The main visibility is the shutters on the front. I would guess that would be the main concern if there's any.
I like the shutters.
Pretty.
Very pretty.
What
I think
color-
that's
are they blue?
Monomoy E.
They are, I think they're, hold on,
I like my.
I have to look, and I don't have my glasses, so bear with me.
They might be on the application.
That's what I'm looking, so I
What
don't
color are
know.
they?
What do you?
The shutters.
We only have deck color.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
Oh, here we go. Oh, it doesn't say.
Doesn't say.
Newport folded
What
blue?
color
White, it does say white.
It says white?
We just have white.
Oh yeah, there it is, the bottom right.
Yeah.
What
we just
color
have
is
white.
I don't know, my
Is the whole
glasses on.
house white or?
White shutters?
Naturally, yes. White, everything's white. Roof is natural, deck is natural, sidewall is natural, trim
We
is
can-
white, sash is white, doors are white, shutters are white.
You want a different color shutter? I just
I
don't
think
know.
black.
Black.
Black?
Or
Black
gray.
or a blue?
Blue.
I can see a Folger, or even a lighter, little lighter than a Folger.
Yeah, one of your
Yeah.
blues.
Not a
I
white.
think that'd be nice.
No
Okay.
white.
Okay, and then the other changes along the side were, we added a dormer on the back that you see from the east elevation,
Yeah.
but it's internal to the lot. And then we added a little single-story chimney to the west elevation and a pergola.
Is that a parged chimney or?
Well, I should match the other one, so I would think it would be water strip brick.
Okay, brick,
Very nice.
and I don't see, you're going to see the back of the house at all.
I've seen the white shutters and the blue shutters on Monomoy Road, so I don't.
There's a lot of,
You know, there's like that iconic one that's blue as you come around the corner, you go down.
And
Monomoy Road.
Annabelle or something, or the old?
Johnny,
It's near
you
the
have
corner,
something
right?
to say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty.
No,
Well,
can I have a motion?
Motion to
Approve with a brick chimney
with a brick chimney and,
and a soft blue shutter.
yeah.
And, you know, I never talked to her about the shutter
A
color, so.
blue.
A blue shutter.
Soft blue, yeah.
Well,
That'd be pretty.
that's random, soft blue.
Well, not,
We didn't want to have navy blue shutters, that's all.
Why don't-
well, we
yeah.
can do, well, I have the.
Say
theme of
that,
all.
yeah, but it doesn't call it the same anymore. An HD acceptable blue.
HTC acceptable blue, and if we want something different, we'll come
Right.
back. That's perfect.
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Aye, thank you, whoever you were.
Down here. Okay, now back down to 21.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Chip Webster's
Oh,
joined us,
a
so I think
motion to reopen, what is it?
that's number 19.
To, oh. Motion
Did
to.
we already go past it? Yes.
Yes.
Stacy is just here
About
for
a
a
half an
demo
hour
of
ago.
a little house downtown.
Oh,
All right, are you 21?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it. Let's go. And then we'll get you after
And
Chip.
back to Chip.
Who's Barrett?
Wait,
It's
this goes
new.
back to Ray.
I know.
Ray, baby.
Oh, it's him.
Oh, is this, HSAP?
Yeah.
This was Michael and Dusty Ramus's house, wasn't it?
I'm not,
No concerns from HSAP,
Yeah,
okay?
I agree.
They're just turning it into a parking lot, so they're just taking the building down.
Oh, isn't that one around the golf club?
Stacy Barrett.
Stacy?
Stacy.
Stacy, yes, with an EY?
Just Y. CY.
It's belonging to.
Well, presumably HSAP did a historic thing on this, but do you have any idea how old it is?
It's
Like the
It's one of the
50s,
Clarksons
I
have.
think, but it's not historic.
Look at
And
those
it's not
skylights.
in great
Like that.
shape, and you'd probably be doing a favor.
Didn't, primarily it started off as a scallop shanty and then they added to, they got to be a house.
no, it looks fifties. Look at the roof line.
Yeah, I wanna say
It's
it
like
was
a,
50.
not even a full
Five
well.
pitch or so.
Yeah.
Motion to approve.
Okay.
Ditto.
Aye.
Comments, concerns? All those in favor of
Aye.
Val's
Aye.
motion? Aye. There you go, thank you for waiting. Okay, so now let's get back to Chip.
All right, what's the number of chips?
We need to have
19.
two of,
15 Wood Hollow.
Yeah, I'll send it.
Okay.
I got it, thank you though.
that's all right.
Motion to
Don't worry.
reopen 15 Wood Hollow Road. Is it that what it is?
Yeah,
Yes, correct.
thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
While it's getting passed out, should I go ahead and start, or do you wanna wait till you got something playing?
It's easier if they're looking at something, frankly.
Just a minute, just to catch up a little bit.
Okay.
Chop.
Oh, sorry, John.
My favorite part of that mix is the little rice crackers.
Yeah, I have a favorite one too, but I don't know.
What's the matter with the orange ones? You said,
Well,
I like the
it's,
orange
it's just that I don't know what makes it so orange. Do you?
one. Orange mix.
Yeah, right.
Orange
It's-
zest.
Orange
chili.
zest.
All right.
And-
So good evening, everyone. Chip Webster on behalf of the applicant. This is an application for the relocation of a previously approved pool. As you might recall, when they had the pool flurry of approvals and
Yeah.
all of that, this client, much like probably many people, rushed to get an approval in, and now they've had some time to think about where they want it. So this is the application to relocate it.
Yeah, I
Much.
look, this is a house I think you can see.
Do we know where it was approved?
Yes, okay, so it was approved in the back of the lot. The reason being is the location where they wanna move it is where the septic system
You mean
is.
back here.
Yeah, because that was driven by the fact, we would have put it where it is now, but the septic was there, so now the septic has been re-engineered, it's gonna be relocated.
So this is actually.
That's right.
Yeah, if there were any visibility, it would be kind of looking down the drive from, Chuckalla.
No one ever knows all the
Chip,
stuff
where
we
was
need.
it approved before?
It was approved in the back corner.
Back
And-
here.
Yeah, and the reason for that is where it is desired to be is where the septic system is, so it couldn't go there. So the septic system is here now, so we got it approved there. They're moving the septic system here, I think it is. So they wanna put it there in
So
front of the
here,
pool house.
you're gonna go right in that bunch of trees.
Correct.
Yeah, so you have to look at
I remember though, standing here,
Well,
there
okay,
was
so, yeah, so-
visibility.
So what you could see from here, so this photo is showing an old house here.
Yeah.
That has been removed, and we approved, or you approved, a new pool house here. And there was visibility of the second floor of that pool house from here.
Right.
So I don't think, given this vegetation, that you'd see a pool at ground level from here. You might see it looking down the drive.
Yeah, so can you screen it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I think we can make short work of this with our stipulation But, is there any further discussion? John, you got any
Cause it is
comments
right
on this
off the
one?
driveway.
Do you get to say what color the interior is?
Interior of the pool?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay,
Is there a
'cause some
preferred color?
interiors are bright blue, some are sort of grayed down.
I think it would not be bright blue.
Okay.
And we could put that in if you wanted as a condition.
Right there, it's this.
Right.
The driveway's down that way.
And it's,
Well, they'll have, my opinion is that they'll have to figure it out.
if we
Yeah,
put
so look
through
at
the
this.
stipulations, then we should cover ourselves with that.
So,
We're making an exception.
Remote location and low visibility. I make a motion to-
can we put our stipulation on there, John? The one that says, the pool will not be visible from a public way at the time of inspection or thereafter?
Fine.
Okay.
Wrap it up.
So John has made a motion to approve with the stipulation that the pool will not be visible at the time of inspection or thereafter. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Very good.
And is thereafter mean eternity?
Yes.
In perpetuity.
You have to believe in God.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thanks.
Have a wonderful evening.
Okay, how about 7 Cashalot? Anybody?
Not the cocktail parties. I see your Dan magazine.
Oh, no, that's not me, that's my pasta.
I don't think I've ever been
Hi, Ray.
photographed.
How you doing?
Pretty good, how are you?
No.
Then again, I
Hello,
don't
everyone.
go to any-
Good evening.
It was terrible.
Which one was that building that was gonna house the employees for fish and meat market?
That was one
That
of
was
Val's.
Val's. That was over on Knobsker or something.
How's the
Yeah.
Right, this is the plan from the neighbor's house that I was talking about. So this house is pretty much exactly the same as what I'm intending to build.
Holy moly.
This is the one directly next door to
I
Cash
may
Lot.
have you just hold that up.
Yep.
if there's
This
any
is
questions
like
about that.
our
You
entrance
mean,
side.
so that one is at number 5
That one is, I believe,
or 9?
number. I think it's number 9. It's directly next door. Right here.
Well, yeah, that's 9 on this side.
Is this housing for someone?
Oh, okay, here we go. It looks big because unlike our warehouse that we reviewed earlier, this is actually a half-inch scale.
Right, double.
These guys,
Wait a second, it should be on a 1/4" scale.
It's
no, I know, and everybody always says that, but these guys always print it out at half-inch scale. Actually,
These
this
might
isn't
be-
even half-inch scale, this is like to no scale.
These are probably meant for 11 by 17 sheets.
You know what, that's exactly
I
what
think
it is.
that's it.
Did you print the documents or did somebody else?
I had somebody else do it.
Okay, because what they have to do is they have to, when they go under print, it says, fit page or whatever, you have to hit 100%.
I've had this conversation with them twice already now.
Who
So,
did
Well, everybody in the world is having this conversation with them and they're just not getting it. So, here, let's put some things in perspective. So, you wanna just hold up these drawings? These drawings are the next door neighbor's house, which are identical to this.
not quite identical,
Oh, well,
but
tell us.
very, very
tell us
similar.
in what
Very
ways.
similar. I mean,
Tell us in what ways it's not, well,
The front
6
door.
over 1.
The shutters.
exactly.
Okay, but
So, for all intents purposes, it's the same thing. It's
Okay.
almost the same size. My ridge.
Can you read how tall that is right there?
That is 29'10" and
Yeah,
5/16".
Right, so this is, we've been
3/4
down
of an
this
inch.
road before, this is basically 30 feet. When you have, okay, it says 28.3, but that's only down to there, and this is 1'7".
Oh, so is it gonna be over 30?
No,
Oh.
28.3 plus 1.7
Is this a one-family
exactly
house?
30.
Is it,
Single family.
Okay.
The last time we saw this, I asked for, working shutters, meaning that if you were to close these,
Just to be clear, this is a new application. You've seen a house that looks just like this before.
Mhm.
In fact, we've seen several.
What's the colors?
So, this is a new application.
But he still has
but
to
he,
work
but they're still the same.
No, I'm just,
Are these the correct, we did print these at the second time, so these are the correct, because I did actually have them go back and correct those to make sure that they were the correct working size, like
No,
They're not,
They're too narrow.
So, or do we have the right set of,
I don't know,
plans
maybe
here?
we don't have the right set of drawings.
These are all the plans that we had at the office. Did you
Okay.
drop off another one?
I did drop off
Do you know
another
what
one.
date you dropped those off?
Let me just look at my
Well,
phone.
look, we can make that a stipulation.
Andy, I'm gonna make this really simple.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just scaling this right now,
Mhm.
and so these dimensions that I'm giving you are not real. But, so the window size, the way I measure it, is 4.5 feet wide. We know it's not 4.5 feet wide. But so it's scaling at 4.5. The shutters should be 2.25 wide, half of
Sure,
the opening
sure,
of the
sure.
window. Because it goes, when the shutters close,
Yeah, of
they
course.
go inside the casing. So if you have a 3-foot wide window, that means you have 2 1.5-foot wide
Right.
shutters. So these are not there. These
Can
are
you
not,
say-
these are not wide enough.
If you're gonna put that in the motion, can you say enclosed shutters, enlarged shutters to close over windows entirely?
You call them
shutters
working
basically
shutters.
need,
Yeah.
working shutters need to be
Well,
half
he
of
may
the
think
size
working
of the.
means that they'll open, but they've got to meet
In the middle, yes.
and close the window.
Well, and just looking at them, you know that they're too skinny to be able to do that. So,
That's why I'm wondering whether this is the correct
It's not.
set of drawings, because I did have
Well,
the
look.
architect redraw the shutters.
here's what we're gonna do.
The correct size.
John, do you have any comments on this one?
I do.
I do.
He's not ready.
Okay, go.
Aside from the scale thing, which we get, that's not a huge ordeal. The 3032 is too wide as compared to its height, so the panes are very horizontal. I think that window in the gable on the right elevation, let's see if it's anywhere else, should be changed to a narrower window.
Agree.
Window on.
I
What she
think
means?
if you
Yep.
change that to a 2432, like you have on the first floor,
This.
those pane configurations are better.
Take that window, put it right there.
Okay.
Yep,
Which
good point.
window, what's the number?
Or even the
of that
2842 looks good too.
What's
If
that
that would
window?
But
fit,
that might be too deep, tall.
could be for an attic.
So the 2432 would be better. I have some concerns about the chimney and the front door.
The Georgian fan light.
Yeah, but other than that, I think it can be approved through staff with the modifications.
I
That-
did take some photos of some other houses around here that have Georgian fan lights, kind of similar to what I was hoping to
That's
do.
down in town, you're out in the rural area of town in a
This
newer.
was down in Holbrook Ave, actually, right down.
Right,
Yeah.
which is an old formal neighborhood in town, this is a new development.
Very new.
We don't typically approve those on this style house.
Okay,
Approve what?
A fan light.
Oh, yeah.
thank you, Val. Diane?
All right, the chimney, why is the chimney so wide? How many flues do you have going up?
Just one.
I believe it is too wide to, wider than necessary, for a one flue thing, and I am the second greatest liker of chimneys. Being the first one is over there.
Yeah.
And it's too big for the area that has been given, it should come in, I don't know. If you have an 8-foot flue and you have 4 inches on either side to protect it, it will come in, I don't have my scale, but it needs to come in, it needs to be.
Even if you had one, Diane, you wouldn't be able to scale it, cause these drawings are not to any scale.
Oh,
That's true.
okay. It needs to come in.
Okay.
And then have a corbel top.
Yeah, and then have a typical Nantucket corbel top, if you would, please.
Sure.
You know, it's actually showing two flues popping out of it.
These are the bad
Which is
ones,
that's a throwback from when they used to vent the furnace up through there, which nobody ever does anymore.
It was potentially, I think there was talk of putting a fireplace on the second floor as well, but.
Well, that would mean that you
not
have to
that on
make
the
that chimney much wider, which
Yeah.
I think you're gonna get some kickback on.
Yeah.
Wherever they are.
Okay, anything else, Diane?
No, that is primarily the thing. He may not be able to do this proof that.
Why?
I'm-
Oh,
If we
except
can't
for the
get all
chimney?
I'd like to perhaps see the chimney, however people feel, and the mixture of the windows, being that we don't have simple A, B, through C's, we have a lot of numbers. We want to get him to enlarge the right windows.
Right.
That's all.
Okay.
That's all.
Abby.
Well, I understand that you're going for something more, Georgian and a little more elegant than I think the area, has. But in any case, that's your prerogative.
Yeah, I got that.
I think that the fan light is too formal, but I'm wondering if you couldn't do something more country, like a transom on top, squared off transom, or some sort of, a small porch on the front door that might give it a little bit more of a not rustic, but more informal look.
A portico, something like this type of affair, or.
I can't see.
This is,
Yes, exactly. If you're looking for something like a Georgian, but you want it to be calmed down, I would suggest square columns with a small porch like that.
Well, the other thing that's working against that feeling is everything's natural to weather except the windows are white.
Boy.
Even the clapboard, so.
Well, actually,
they're
then this
incongruent.
is definitely not the correct set of drawings.
Yeah.
Because
Everything's
I
natural
got rid of
weather,
I got rid of the clapboard in the last one just because
Yeah.
Ray had said that everything was looking very long.
That says it's received June 26th, so that's probably
oh my word.
not the right set of drawings.
No, this isn't the right set of drawings. I've had them all redone to the correct quarter-inch scale.
That's too bad.
That's a bummer.
Well, I mean, I brought them in and I filed them. I can find the date.
That's too bad.
Do you have a little small copy of what your newer version is? Is that?
No, this
Okay.
is the copy of the neighbor's house.
Well,
Are there
So
any
your
new?
front is shingle.
Yes, I changed that to shingle just because, as Ray had said, that it seemed all very long, so I wanted to kind of reduce that feeling of length and make it look a little less imposing.
I have a really curious question, okay? So, you keep referring to, like, that we had reviewed this.
Mm-hmm.
We've reviewed this before?
Yes. Yes.
We
Last
a
week.
couple of, not last week, the week before actually.
So this is put down as a new application.
Yes.
You're under new business.
Yeah, well, because you sent me home because I didn't have my homework done
No,
last time. because of-
but that's, unless we denied your application, which I can't believe we did.
No.
If we asked for revisions, then it would have come up again under old business.
Right, that's where the mistake was, because these were actually in the revision drawer, because we couldn't find the new application for this, because we thought it was new business. So if this was actually old business, then the applications you brought in are sitting in the old business pile, and it should have gone to an old business meeting.
Which should be on next week's agenda.
So listen, you may wanna, given what we've just said about this, you may wanna do a few further tweaks, but it sounds like you're already on for
Next week.
next Tuesday.
Well, we might not be signed up. We might have the plan, so you might want to stop in the office tomorrow and make sure you're signed up for
Just
old
make
business.
sure it's signed up for old business.
Old business.
Yeah, that'll be next Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
At the front door.
Yeah.
If he's going to have the shutters and all that jazz, I think he should have some sort of banister coming down,
Oh, just,
down 2 steps.
if not a full porch.
Or a
just
full porch like you showed us.
Railing going down on either
Well, then
side.
we have to erase everything I said, cause I wasn't on it the first time.
Yeah, there's all sorts of
Well, I don't
complications
think
on
he
this
was
thing.
listening.
Alright, so.
Thank you.
Date everything I said.
Okay,
Well,
so,
let's-
so we'll see you on Tuesday.
Yeah, and make the changes
Well, it
maybe
sounds
in
like
the
you already
meantime.
made some of them, so it's kinda sad, yeah, that goes that way. Okay,
Is there
sorry.
anyone I can bribe to get the fanlight pushed through
No.
with
Oh,
nobody looking?
You got
Yeah,
it?
that's a tough one to come up.
You would have to paint your trim.
No brides.
Painting the trim.
Oh, yeah.
Is that preferable?
You're painting the trim, right?
No,
I was
it's
going
all
to leave it
natural.
natural.
Well, how are you going, yeah, I don't quite understand, as Diane said, if you're going for something, like Georgian or formal, that would be a painted trim. It wouldn't be natural.
I mean,
to
my
wear.
preference would be for painted trim as well, but I just don't like the idea of having to paint it every 4 years.
That's a legitimate
Well-
concern.
This picture you presented has the little
Little,
rail
yeah.
coming down, which brings the front door down.
I do like the idea.
Either you gotta paint, or natural to weather is okay for shingles, but after a length of time, the natural to weather wood, unless you use like cedar and stuff.
What would the shutters be then?
Hey,
Okay, we're
I gotta-
motioning
yeah,
to hold.
Well, no, I wanna make a point here. Point being, this was already reviewed.
Mhm.
This is not new business. There's already been a board established
Right.
on this. And so some of the comments that have been made at this table might not actually be relevant.
I
to-
just said, erase mine.
Yeah, because she's not on it. We have Pole, Waterston, Coombs, McLaughlin, Camp. That's it.
Okay, so
Okay.
let's just hold for next week then.
I think we have to just basically strike this conversation because TJ didn't, I don't believe you said anything on this, right?
I didn't.
Not this time.
Not this time, but last time.
But I'm
yeah.
glad that you didn't because we want to go back to what the original comments were that you heard the first time that you were reviewed and had that subsequently provided us with revisions. That's where we need to take it up. So sorry to waste your time, but that's where we are. So we're going to strike this conversation. Okay?
See you next.
See you on Tuesday.
Again, just check in tomorrow so we can make sure we have
Right.
the other
Yeah.
plans.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I'll give you a call.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we're on to 3 Barrett Farm Road Loop.
Just spend 10 minutes on
So
that.
you know, it's funny, you kept saying, like, when I brought this in before, I'm like, when you brought it in before, like, was this, you know, did you do this same house on a different road or something? And it's like, wait a minute, this is old business.
So yeah, they signed it up for new business, which is what the whole
Yeah,
confusion was.
Well,
There you go.
if you don't get the system, it can be very confusing. Okay, so, is this new business, Luke?
I believe it is.
All right then.
I have to say, it was the first time I was ever on this street today, a road.
Really?
Yep.
It goes all the way to South Shore.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a tricky site.
You're in a bowl.
You're in a real bowl, and the existing second dwelling sort of tucked on the northern side of the property. What we're trying to do here.
Oh, yeah.
What we're proposing is to actually create a new driveway off the Nantucket Road, so that we have more of a backyard, because their view is kind of over Barrett Farm Road. And
Right
so-
now, they access off of Barrett Farm, right?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We're proposing to abandon that driveway and create a new one, so that we arrive in a more sort of natural manner. So we're not in a hole. We're arriving at sort of a higher point.
All right, so you're keeping the cottage.
So the cottage stays as it is. Yep.
Okay.
And the proposed house takes the other hill basically, And, we've kind of nestled the house as much as we can in by a couple of feet, into the hill on the, I suppose it's the, on the west side. And then sort of maintain the flat area of the hill to its, to the east. So the west elevation basically is the arrival elevation.
Arrival elevation. Coming in for a landing.
Hey Luke, when you plant out, when you abandon this driveway back here, are they gonna plant it out or screen it?
They have a landscape architect who's gonna plan it out, yeah. I didn't show any, I sort of, there's actually a fair amount of vegetation, which I actually missed putting on here altogether. That's on the road as well as on the property.
Have you applied for a curb cut off the back road?
Not yet.
Okay. What are our colors here?
So we're matching the house, everything's white, white trim, white sash, white doors.
So this one. No one goes down the street.
It's beautiful.
The east elevation faces Barrett Farm Road, correct?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
All right,
Ditto.
okay. Diane?
Well, I wouldn't like to say it, but practically every window on all four elevations are dangling.
Oh, it's not your favorite.
Luke, you know that stuff, my favorite thing in the world. I just would like to see some of them separated to make the windows not such a hit in the eye. Unless there's some reason why they should all be, well, I know there are some that are on the garage, cottage, whatever, but they do have individual ones too. It's just a lot.
Yeah, mainly on the east elevation, which,
Faces
is-
the road.
well, yeah, that faces Barrett Farm Road, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be visible from there. Okay, but that's it.
Yeah, it's nothing technically, it's just the fenestration that I find hard.
Yep, I hear you. John?
Take somebody research.
Okay, it's kinda down to me. Do you know if there's any place looking at the plans where you could break up some of those windows?
Yeah, we could put a shingle line between the dormer windows.
Oh,
And-
good idea.
And, we could.
That
do
would
it-
be on the east?
Yeah, and we could do it on the bedroom windows below.
That's the back.
Which one's the bedroom?
The one, the right-hand triple.
Okay. Hey, Diane,
Yes,
here's, Luke is offering up some alternatives or ideas for breaking up the mulled windows.
Yeah.
So here they are. If you're looking at the east elevation,
Yep.
those two dormers that have the double windows in them,
yep,
you would put a shingle space in between those windows.
that would be fine, he's got enough room.
That would be, yes, he has enough room. And then the other one would be the triple window that is on the right-hand side is in a bedroom.
Yep.
He could put a shingle course in between those windows.
Okay,
Okay?
yeah,
I think I would offer at that point, a shingle course on the north elevation on that triple too.
The one over the big French doors there?
Yeah.
that would be good. You have enough room and the shape of the house is very graceful.
Yeah.
And the
nice looking
windows
house.
tend not to make it graceful.
Okay, thank you for that, Luke. John, are you ready?
No.
No. Okay.
I think the windows,
By the way, what are we considering a shingle course these days? 6 inches?
6 to 8.
6 to 8
Can you do
inches?
that?
Okay.
He'll do it on as much as he can.
I mean, it'll crowd, I'll have to widen the dormer probably a little bit.
Go out as much as you can. How much can you go out?
Unless you want me to bang the window trim against the, I mean, I'd have
I'm
a
not
real-
sure I would love that. I like having a little bit of shingle between. the others.
What if we just do like, like a 4-4-4 or something?
Okay.
Okay.
4
do
inches
as
of
best-
shingle.
Do as wide as you can.
All right. 4 inches is good.
I think that works.
All right. John?
Yes, on the window schedule, on the, the east elevation.
Yeah.
There's a D window up there in the gable,
Yeah.
and it's listed as awning. And on the south elevation would be E window. They're listed as casement. Well, I think some changes could be made to not have mixture of 6 different windows.
I can make the gable windows fixed.
Okay. Fixed. Gable windows fixed. That would be,
On the east or on all gables?
Okay, talk about the west elevation, which would be visible from Outlet Road.
Yeah, I can make that fixed.
So you got D.
Oh, those ones,
So let me finish.
oh,
first.
sorry.
You got D windows up there, right? Would they be 303 somehow?
hey, John?
Gesundheit.
All right, John, you were just talking about the west elevation gable end window and the east elevation gable end window, right?
I got the east gable as fixed.
One more was the D's are on the, and the E's are on the south elevation.
I think that Luke was.
Casement wrong.
I think that Luke was okay with making the D windows fixed windows.
Okay.
And then you were talking about the.
E windows.
I know they're the ones on the side, right?
No, there's the D windows in the gable, which I would do fixed, because no one can reach them anyway.
Right.
The D windows over the beds, I mean, I could do 3/3s, if I had to.
That's a D window, Luke?
On the west elevation, there are 2 dormers,
Yeah.
and those each have, they're bed nooks.
And
And,
those you can make 3/3s?
3/3.
I can make those 3/3s, yeah.
Okay, double hollow. Which ones? West dormer windows.
And
Yeah,
there's
make
no
them E
E's
windows.
on here, they're
Which are in the south elevation.
Those are
They're gonna
fixed.
be visible from Outlet Road.
And there's more D's, and those will be
E
303.
is a casement. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. No casement.
This is actually, these are E's.
And the awning windows. Awning's gonna be 3/3s. And the casements are the E's. They're on, they're straight up and down window. Yeah, I think they're gonna, you differentiate from the rest of the house.
It's written E.
Got any ideas?
Got it
there?
on the south elevation.
No, it's too confusing.
South elevation. And, yeah.
I think they just show up in the south, John. Those E windows.
They're all over the place.
They are?
But they're marked on the floor plans as F.
Yeah, 6 of them.
What can we do about this?
Because it's the same size casing. And the rest of the E windows are double hung.
I can,
This is crazy.
What about 4/4?
4/4. Yeah, add another, 4/4 double hung.
Or just small 6/6s. C windows, I guess.
Replacing with C windows?
I don't think C is narrow windows.
They're all.
I didn't look at the floor plan, I'm not interested in it, but the air conditioner also has to be done. Somehow that, it's possible that we see from the bottom of the road too.
Okay, so this getting extraordinarily complicated.
Alright, I'll come back.
Yeah,
I would motion to hold for some minor revisions to the
thank you.
window.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Sorry.
Never get it.
Okay,
Alright, thanks.
you're done. 262.
Oh, I didn't recognize you. You've been working in the garden.
I'm professional beach bum. I just lay down
Boy,
flat.
that sounds nice.
On
Wow.
those 3 occasions I had a chance to do so. Hello.
Hello.
Almost forgot about you all.
Yeah, we've
I
been-
know,
up
and you were
until
here.
recently, we were kind of cruising.
If Doug wouldn't text me, I would like miss it. So anyhow, so Miroslava Ahern for the project. So this is 262 Pole Face. It's the Swan's Neck all the way out there. It's a pool at a grade with a pool, pool, bluestone patio, and with the pool cover. We don't have any fence. Yes.
The old
This-
pink
yeah,
house?
Yes, the old pink house,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
All right,
So.
I'm sorry, so what are we
No
doing?
problem. We are doing the pool. It's
Yeah.
application for pool plus patios around. So we are doing the pool with the spa,
Yeah,
little fireplace next to it, and the bluestone patio surrounds. With the garden little details. And part of the application, I guess, would be like a modification of the driveway spot. That's I guess minor. Sound shell.
Well, look, it's a house.
really
It's in the
shallow
pool.
portion.
In a pool, it's just under the water. You can put your chest there, so you can sit and have your feet back.
I'm
Just like really shallow.
I am just
Mirka,
not
how
with it.
far from
Like
the
the
water
baby.
is it?
How far from the water
No
we
diving.
Because this is
like
the
that-
house in real life,
are?
right?
Yeah, that's the house in real life, and we are definitely outside of 100 feet buffer. So I would assume
You are.
we are. So we are over 100 feet. I would assume 120.
The only view you would have of this place is the water itself.
Absolutely
Oh, yeah.
correct.
Without a doubt. It would be as you're going into the Pulpus Harbor.
Right.
You
Yeah.
look off to the right-hand side and you see the house.
So it's 200. Doug just corrected me. It's 200 from the water edge, and it's at grade. It's a pool at grade
Right, with the cover.
with a cover, pool cover. Yes.
So you don't have to worry about fencing and all that.
No. They might eventually add maybe some just for a kids proof for time being, but it's just one of those temporary ones, if
Okay.
for seasons.
Okay, comments?
I love it.
All right,
Can't
that's
see
good
it.
comment. Other good comment. Diane?
I think it will fit in very well to one of my favorite locations.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice
Too
spot.
bad the pink stucco house is in there.
John, you okay?
Pretty cool.
I have
All
the
right.
plans for it.
John has a motion on the table to approve as submitted. All those in favor?
Thank you.
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks. See you later.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have
Hey,
the elevations
TJ.
too? All right.
Yes.
TJ's up?
Wow.
And Doug has made a copy of it.
Really?
You guys
Yeah.
have 5 for the rest of the agenda.
That's pretty
For the
cool.
owner.
I gotta recuse from, I was told 12 fully mill
Oh,
road.
stay for that then.
Cool.
What's the
Is that the last
project
one?
of Lisa's, I guess.
out there.
I don't
Yeah.
know. But,
Alright, no problem.
Where are we? What
although-
number are you? TJ?
40 Squam.
40 Swamp.
What is this?
Abby?
Yes, dear, thank you.
To John.
There you go, Johnny.
So it's probably a non-issue.
It's a non-issue.
Yeah, okay.
So I appreciate it.
Okay.
It'll be done. Okay. Squam Road.
All right, so this is a pool house that's, we got approved, I think, a couple years ago. It recently came back for a couple of revisions. Now that we're getting recertified through Concom, we're finding that to avoid to comply with the groundwater separation issues, the groundwater is only 2 feet down below the grade in this area of the pool house. So we seek to build the grade up to the level of the road to avoid having to get a groundwater waiver for the building. So most of the lot follows the elevation of the road until you get down to this area, it dips. So we seek to add about 4 feet of fill into that area, which won't mound up above the road, but stay level, more or less level with it.
Okay, just to put that in perspective, folks, if you look at where Squam Road is, the surveyor has given a couple of benchmark elevations on the road. One is at 14.9, one is at 15.5, and the third one is at 16.3. And TJ's grade around the pool house, you can see that 15-foot line just goes right around. So basically, the grade at the pool house is going to be the same as the grade at the road. Right now, the grade is sunken down. He's just looking to get it elevated enough so that it's level with the road. And he's doing that for Concom reasons.
And of course, the vegetation along the road, if anything's damaged, will be replaced. Screening that we had before.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Abby. I'm gonna hold the motion just to make sure there's no further discussion on the motion.
Okay.
Everybody okay with this?
We're helping him out.
Okay. John, you okay with it?
Okay.
All right. All those in favor of Abby's motion to approve this?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot, TJ. Okay, and TJ's gonna take off. Thank you for sticking around, TJ. Appreciate it.
Night.
Night.
Okay.
Leave.
I thought, do you have something else up or something?
Keep going, we're
No, I know we're good.
Who's BPC?
Well, BPC.
We have Terry using the restroom right now. Do we want to take a break?
Yeah, we can wait a minute.
Oh, sorry, yeah, okay, so we're taking a 5-minute break.
With 5, in the meantime, can I have you guys sign these as they come around?
Yeah.
Valerie. Signing all these.
Joe Paul.
Oh, all right, because we have that 11 E Street.
This is an efficient way to do it. None of them had any criteria, right?
No, they didn't. All straight approval.
Are we skipping 262?
Oh, where are we at?
That's me.
Are you, oh, that's you?
No, we're on break right now.
Why does it say Mark Baton?
Because that's why I work
Sorry,
for.
I'm
Yeah.
slacking.
So Mark and Joe have split.
Oh.
So Joe is now BPC, and Mark is Mark and Tony.
Okay. I want to be up to date on this.
I'm the town scuttlebutt.
Just
It is now just P architecture.
Are we gonna do E Street?
Stand up,
I
everybody
have no
stand
idea.
up, if you can.
I work for the C in BPC now.
You work for the C.
They really are. They really are.
What's that?
You work for who?
The
Mark,
C.
Mark Coutone. So
In-
he was
C.
the C in BPC.
Oh, I
So-
thought you said B and C, and I was like, B is gone, he's been gone a long time.
Yeah, like, so, I haven't seen him in probably, what, 15 years? Where is he now?
California, last I heard.
Yeah.
I never really knew him. He was gone
Oh,
before
that's
I
right,
got
he was
there.
before your time.
Thank you. Yeah, we can sleep right next to you.
No, I just wanna,
BD
I
before
worked
Doug.
out my legs.
Oh,
So
yeah.
scared.
Thank you.
When you probably lived at Joanne Mulgate's house.
Who is presenting?
Let's see, when I
E
lived there, no, I was working for
Street.
Eileen back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Who is presenting E, are we gonna hear E Street tonight?
E Street.
11 E Street, old business, Paul
It's on the
Road.
agenda.
East
Solar
Street.
Well-
panels.
Yeah.
What?
Diane.
Yeah?
Tobias has got to represent it.
What?
Tobias is representing
Are
it.
you
so
gonna
it's-
all right.
you're
I
just
just
representing the
wanted to
solar,
know.
Has
right?
it been heard before?
Okay.
It was not heard last week, I think, or two weeks ago. I don't know whether it's been heard.
Yeah, we did.
Put it off.
Break while you were away.
Oh,
Well, I kind of needed it, so it's good. We're ready to go whenever you guys are.
We lose somebody?
Terry is gone.
Oh, TJ.
Oh, TJ, yeah, cause, he was the only alternate, you know, we have a regular board, so.
262.
Okay, let's hit it.
Oh, sorry. What's the what?
262.
262 Pulpus.
Did we just look at this?
Yeah, this,
You just
okay,
looked at
we
the
just
pool.
approved the pool for this house. This is the so-called Swain's Neck House, formerly. Ken?
And we're right to the architecture.
What's that? A turtle?
That's existing.
Actually,
That's existing. So the top is
he's
existing
changing it to
elevation?
that.
I know.
A turtle.
Turtle. It does look like that.
Just
I wanna keep
changes,
it.
nobody's ever gonna see
You
it.
do?
Yeah, I wanna keep it.
For tortoiseshell, for mock turtle soup.
The real, but not the mock. What's that,
Edition here.
that's coming from a.
Groucho Marx? or
No,
something?
no, it's a song.
Oh.
Better than that.
I thought I had real turtle soup, but only the mock. It was like a show to me. It'll come. Okay, everybody, so
That's existing.
we're looking. Okay, I think the easiest way to deal with this is to walk through. How's that sound? So if we all look at the south elevation, what's happening is they're getting rid of the turtle window
Mm-hmm.
in favor of a 4-light window,
Yeah.
which I can't imagine anybody has any objections to. And down below, they're switching out that kind of 4-panel door for this 2-panel door with side lights.
Way all the way down.
Who cares? Can't see it.
Yeah, I don't believe you're gonna see this. Oh, yeah, so to be clear on this one, the south elevation is the elevation that's away from the water.
Correct.
And like, it would be literally impossible to see any of this from Pulpus Road, which would be the other visibility.
Correct.
All right, so that was page 1. East elevation, getting rid of the garage doors in favor of 2 windows, doing a little trellis over there on the garage.
And we're adding a bay to the garage.
What's that?
We're adding a bay to the garage as well on the left there.
1-story
So what we're
little
doing,
thing.
what we're doing is we're flipping the garage doors to the other end.
Right.
That's why we're putting windows here, and then we're adding a 3rd bay.
All right. Well, fine. Okay. Clear. And then a few window and door changes
Just
that
grill
are all
patterns,
bubbled
really.
over there. Okay. That was the east. Now,
No, it's there, they're just
okay.
changing the grill.
The north is actually what you will see from the water.
what it is now.
So adding a deck, adding quite a bit of fenestration to the first floor.
And the second.
And the second,
Larger.
yeah. Adding a couple decks.
Too many windows.
And then I guess over on the right-hand side there, it looks like Doug is adding
Yeah,
sort of
we're
broken
bumping out,
back.
we're bumping out about 8 feet.
Mhm.
So that's what this little section is here.
Is
See
this
that?
turning a corner?
Yeah.
Yeah,
this
it's
is all
angled.
bent.
You can see it in the floor plan, the wing is angled.
So now you're seeing it bent from the other direction.
Those were there. Just changing
Oh, and I
those.
see the,
This cannot would be ridiculous.
okay.
And this is just two
Can
windows.
I see
Keep going.
Well, can I make it, I have just the minuscule comments that take it or leave it. I think, where's the front door?
Oh, yeah.
The, on the front door, the G window that's above the front door, I think that should be a little bit smaller. It's kind of overwhelming that
Yeah.
area, so I would take that down a notch.
Yeah.
I think the ornate, paneling is a little over the top.
That's actually, not to interrupt, but that's a door that they have in the house that they own now.
Okay, forget
And they
that
just wanna move
comment.
it over.
Fine.
It's just kind of something that's growing on them. It's a
Fix
Dutch
the
door.
sidelines.
It's a Dutch
Yeah,
door.
I like the
They
sky-
own a house on Brewster Road.
Oh.
So
Okay.
they're gonna take this
I like
door
them now.
with
What
them.
color is the front door?
It's all white trim.
All white, okay. So I do appreciate the change in the side lights. I like the wide open side lights. I had one comment, one thought about on the proposed east elevation, on the second floor, there's a lot of roof, and I usually, I like that a lot, but I think, is there any way you could extend these dormers to be bigger? They look sort of squat on, sort of small on the roof. The three,
I mean, they're,
the three dormers.
that dormer's existing.
Oh, okay,
And
so,
we're proposing to
all right,
change it.
forget that, and that's all I had to say.
Oh,
So I'm gonna sit
okay.
down now.
Diane.
Yeah. I agree that a lot of it could be done because you can't see it. The north, you can see if you're on the water in Focus Tower.
Yeah.
The east, you may very well be able to see also from that same thing. I think your north elevation has got too many windows in it, and that you can see from the harbor clearly. You've got different decks, you've got a whole bunch of windows that forward two, and then, or two doors and four windows, and now all four doors. It's too many on that, I think. On your deck, on the little gable on the right, with the two windows and the door, what is that gable gonna? It looks like you have a mixture of things.
The
Right,
one
so-
on the right-hand side?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing them both the same way. We're gonna have the sections that are perpendicular to the house
Yeah.
will be shingled, and that'll wrap around a little bit. It'll have a little bit of a return on it, and then it'll be baluster in between.
Okay, so shingled under the door and the windows, and then you have the little baluster, and then you're gonna have shingles again as it goes around.
So it'll be shingle, and then baluster.
Yeah. Okay. I just think it's a huge amount of big windows. I think the first floor, which is visible from the harbor.
If I could direct your attention to the last page, we actually took some pictures from the beach. There's actually some pictures from the lawn and then also from the beach. So this picture is taken from the lawn, about 50 feet from the house.
Right.
And then that's taken from the beach,
Okay.
where, you know, even from within the property, it's
Well,
gonna be
they're
hard
back
to.
100 feet. I
Yeah.
remember now, she said
Yeah, it's
they were
200 feet
outside the
from the water.
100 mark. It wasn't all that.
So I mean, any visibility is gonna be from a pretty good distance. So I would hope that, you know, having a little bit of extra fenestration wouldn't be too big of an issue.
I think given that the bulk of it is under a porch on the first floor, really mitigates it for me. And because of the oblique angle, thank you for pointing out that last page. I think, this one, this right here is where he's adding the doors and the deck on the second floor.
Yeah.
And it's not head on, it's sort of on that angle that goes that way.
Well,
I'm
how's-
okay with it, Doug, given where it is. I think none of this is gonna really impact anything.
Okay, now I wanna get back to Diane for a second.
That's right.
So does that change your opinion about the amount of glass?
It changes, how you look at that north elevation.
Mhm.
I think, it's quieter than the pink house. So, it's bigger than that.
It is a little bigger.
Yes, it is certainly
So I would go along with it.
Okay, thanks. John?
I have one thing. I don't think the front door is appropriate for the style.
Didn't you just?
Yeah, what I explained to Abby's comment was that the door that's proposed here, they're taking it from the house that they own now, and they're gonna take it with them because they really like it. It's a Dutch door. And they just really like the door. It's a little unusual in style. It's not in this building, in their house on Brewster over here. So they're gonna
John,
take it.
you
They're
won't
gonna
have
take
to-
it out of this.
You won't have to look at it at Brewster Road anymore.
Right.
My other comment was that on the second floor, you have shingles with the spindles on the side, shingles, they'll be all shingles or all spindles, not mixed like this. I think it detracts from the gambling effect.
We thought that was a way to sort of diminish how much white you're seeing.
So yeah, the
Was
house is
idea.
painted white, so if it were all balusters, it would look, there would be a lot of white there, so he was trying to reduce that down. Well, I know, but out on the water. I'm actually okay with that, and we've approved that before to try and limit the amount of white that's out there. Anything else, John? Okay. All right, kids, what do you think?
A motion to approve is submitted.
All right.
Second that.
All those in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
John, are you opposed? No? Okay.
Is that, Terry, is this the swimming pool?
All right, now we got our pool cabana.
This, okay, yes, here it is, this one, and then here is the next one.
Thank you.
This is the one we are accepting as.
The what?
So you got one, the swimming pool?
Yeah, I got one.
Oh.
What it will be on.
Keep going, keep going. Cabana.
Tell me you're not gonna see this from anywhere.
You're not gonna see this from anywhere.
Ooh, it looks so big here.
You'll see it from the pool.
Yes. very long. How big is this thing?
It's sitting right behind the pool cabana, right?
So Doug, the north is what would face the water?
Correct.
What are those, is that like an open roof thing?
It is. So, if you look at the north elevation, the little structure to the left is storage and outdoor showers. And then there's a little pergola area. That's where the couch is that you're seeing there in elevation. And then where the bar stools are, that's sort of like the bar area, and there's a kitchen back there. So that's all open to the weather. It's open rafters. And then the rest is a pretty typical. I'm sorry.
It's open.
Not straight through. There is a front wall.
Yeah, I thought it's.
And what on the east are we looking at with these little cutouts?
Okay, so again, that's the storage area, and then there's outdoor showers front and back. So the middle door is to a storage unit, or storage area for like cushions around the pool and whatnot. The left-hand side is there's a door to the outdoor shower on that side, and then the other outdoor shower is a maze that's entered from the middle.
I think, so the roof is wood, right?
The roof is wood, correct.
I think if those slats that are openings in the roof are natural to weather, I could go for it. I think if they're white, it's just drawing attention to
Good point.
an anomaly.
Yeah, the pergola in the exposed rafters would be natural.
Okay. Is that all you have to say?
Yeah.
That's all I have to say too.
Oh, okay. How about you, Diane?
No, I agree with that also.
Okay. John, what do you think?
I am thinking.
Good.
Cabana. These are open rafters, right?
Correct.
Where is this is the cabana here?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then this is a pergola. There's a pergola over top of this, and then that's just storage, and that has the open rafters as well. And that's the pool. Yeah, the pool was just approved 15 minutes ago.
Oh, is this?
Got the roll up on it?
Yes.
Thank you.
That's the fence, the couple, the small 80-foot fence.
It's going that way.
Did
we have a motion? Did you make a motion?
Motion to approve with the exposed rafters natural to weather.
Okay.
All those in favor of Val's motion?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks. See you.
Exposed rafters natural to weather.
Okay, next up, 22 Maddox Sham. So John, that actually wants to go that way. This is an application way at the beginning of the meeting that we forgot to sign. Hi. Good.
You on?
Oh.
John?
We only need one.
Only one? Okay.
Sarah tried to psych me out.
She did?
She's good at that.
She really did.
What'd she do to you?
Completely undermined my confidence just before I walked up.
Turn him into a puddle of jelly.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Sarah is here in opposition to this project. Did you know that?
No.
Sarah comes here for fun. I know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very entertaining.
What are we doing here?
So this is, I have to give you just a little bit of background. So you have seen this lot. We originally were planning to demo an existing house, and you've already approved to demolish this house. And for a number of reasons, one of which is some recent significant erosion, we've actually decided to keep the house as is and do an addition to it and make some minor changes to it. So you did look at a house in this location probably 3 weeks ago, and so we withdrew the demo and we withdrew the new dwelling application, and we're before you for a renovation. And so it's an existing house. It's obviously a specific design. I think it dates from the 80s.
no surprise there. There's 1/1 windows everywhere. The massing is, unique. I wouldn't say it's typical Nantucket additive massing, but again, our approach here is to build off of what's there, and primarily what we're looking to do is just do an addition on the north elevation towards the front, create a space for a stairwell and a half bath, and we felt that this was the most effective and way to do it in a way that's sympathetic to the existing language. So, that's all I have, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
I can go first. I appreciate you saving the building instead of tearing it down. I think that's really commendable. And I think the new fenestration works really well and really makes it more, certainly better looking and probably more appropriate to the neighborhood.
Because right now, it's all 1/1.
Right now, they're 1/1s and now they're 2/2s and it fits. So,
Thanks, okay.
Great job.
Diane, what do you think?
I think it looks much better with 2/2s. I don't know.
And you were doing a thing where you were connecting the buildings, right?
Well, those two existing buildings still flank these.
No, I know, but your previous iteration.
They were connected by a deck, which this is now as well. So.
I thought it was a whole new house.
Yeah, no, it was. I don't know. Yeah, so we were in here for a new dwelling. We actually got this existing dwelling demolished, and we were proposing a new dwelling. But in discussing with the client and some, like I said, erosion's an issue, a couple other factors, we wanted to take this more measured approach and not demolish it. So
I love it.
I love it too. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Save.
this is actually where we started.
Cool.
And then we wanted to make the new dwelling.
John, what do you think? The windows are a little awning window.
They are awning, right.
Which
Now,
they are now.
John, what you have to be careful to do in this particular case, because this is an existing house, and he's going through and he's replacing all the windows in like kind. In other words, if you look at the north elevation, just for an example.
North elevation, right?
Yeah, okay. So if you look at his plan, you see there's these V windows, right?
Right.
But now go over and look at the existing north, the little inset thing, and you'll see they're the same B windows. They exist in the building. All he's doing is he's putting a mutton in the middle of it. So he's not adding any of those windows. Which elevation are you on, John?
Existing south elevation.
South.
Has a sheet window. He's changing that to a V window.
Well, he is, but it's already an awning window.
What?
It's already an awning window. You see it on there?
Here?
Look at the existing. Yeah.
That's the C window.
Well, it is, but it's an awning window. You know what I mean?
You know where you see a lot of awnings, windows? In Sconset. I was going down Center Street or Broadway and I looked up and there are all these old houses with the awnings coming,
you know what?
going out.
They did all that before the HTC.
Well, I'm just
But
saying.
they all
that-
used
But they are used.
Alright, so this is way out there, and
I
he's
can
replacing.
change.
I think we're okay.
Did you
Okay.
say anything?
We'll do it.
You're not adding any awning windows.
May I
where
make
there
a
are.
motion then, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah,
If
sure.
John's ready?
I think so. You okay, John?
Approve as submitted?
He loves it.
He doesn't love it.
He
He'd love
loves
to
it.
see all those awning windows go away, but they do exist. Okay, so all those in favor of Val's motion?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
John, are you in or out? Just curious.
In favor.
You good? Okay. Thank you. Okay, so now we do have a representative here for item 29, at 11 East Street, which would be the solar panels. So are we basically holding the other two, or do you even know?
I think
Are they planning on showing up for that?
the other two?
Yeah, 3 applications for 11 East Street.
Right. I'm just
You're
here
only
to
doing
speak
one.
on the solar.
All right.
That's what I'm here for.
Okay. So I
I
think
do
we
not
might-
have a degree in architecture, so I'll leave that for the pros. Okay. Come on, well.
This says its own business, so does this have a board?
Oh.
It does. The
Good
board
point.
here is, oh wait, it just says motion to hold applicant requests on both.
Oh, was it not open?
Not opened at all.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I guess you don't have these one open, so there's no notes.
All right.
Where can you see it on TV? I haven't been able to find it yet. I don't know.
It took me a while.
Can you find it?
It took me
Where
like 20
is it?
minutes.
How'd you find it?
I don't know. I just clicked on a lot of stuff until I found it.
This is BPC's long single-story house, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
A lot of
I went
it's-
and took pictures today.
Oh, you
See
did?
it. Yeah.
Is it built?
It's partially built. You
Oh.
can see it
Yeah,
from
it's
the
a-
boat ramp
Okay,
and
that's helpful.
um,
Hey, so
across this yard.
before we get too far ahead of our skis, I will read Nantucket advisory, which is east elevation panels to be on ground. South elevation visible from street. Okay? That's Nantucket advisory. So, sir, let's see. Looks like you're putting them on the dormers on the south, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is the roof material, Tobias? Do you know?
I believe it's a black asphalt shingle. The whole roof is going to be
Well, that's the right
Next
answer.
application, right?
because the whole the roofs are being redone on this application.
South
It's a
faces
new
the
house.
water. South faces, no,
No, south.
what faces Hither Creek?
If it says natural, then
North
it's a wood roof.
faces the creek.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
It's a wood roof.
So then south faces the road?
Yeah, and west faces part of the creek.
Yeah, west kind of faces a little bit of the creek.
Faces the street.
Okay.
This is from the boat ramp. And this is from F Street.
Yeah, it's a little.
Clearly.
There's a lot of pictures, so I'll let you guys get oriented.
You got pictures?
Do we have?
Well, that would be good. Picture of photos.
I don't have pictures of this because it's partially a new build.
Oh.
Here is the ones I have.
Oh, thanks.
Toby, how many panels are going up?
So roughly about 60 to cover a house this size.
No kidding.
60. Yeah.
And this one, and those?
North.
And it would really take like, if you wanted to cover like all of the electrical bill, it would probably take more like 80. That's what we're seeing in a lot of houses.
You're saying 60?
Yeah, 60 panels.
I'm not seeing that.
I'm
Because,
not
like,
seeing it either.
your your east gable
12.
has 12, right? All right. And your south has 6, 12, 18. 18 plus 12 is 30.
How many here?
But
Am I missing something?
6, 8.
Well, you are. There's the two kind of outlying buildings, the garage.
You know what, Tobias? I'm not sure that we have that.
What?
Oh, no. Wait, no.
Look on the front page.
Wait.
The front page is the easiest place to see it all.
Do we need a view for this, or did we?
It was
were
on
we-
the view.
Well, I didn't go there.
Here's 12 here.
Oh,
wait a minute. I'm starting. They're all over the place.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
They're all over the place.
18, 24.
Does it really look like that?
There. That's 36.
Yeah.
Is it that hidden?
They're building it.
That's through somebody's driveway, driving from the boat ramp. That's from the boat ramp, and I didn't go to, what's the point where you launch a boat? Jackson Point I didn't go to, but you can see it big time from there.
Terry, have you seen this?
Yeah, the creek.
Right.
No, I mean,
This is
show
a
the
big
big
plan. I think there's too many.
24, 36.
And the wooded roof is wood, people.
Well, I got 12 here, John, right?
They don't care.
Right.
12.
The roof is wood.
18,
I know.
24, 36.
I know. Problem.
But what you
if
can't
it's a
see
day for
is
sailing, I'd take it.
there aren't any from the water.
Actually, what we could do is get
Actually,
from the bridge. Oh, yeah.
Not on the water. But
it is.
okay,
But if it's on
a few things are coming clear here.
Great.
One, the application for the house, and I would believe the other outbuildings as well, are for red cedar roof shingles.
Okay.
All right, and we were all liking the idea of the black shingles for the reasons that we have, I'm sure, discussed with you numerous times, because they blend in better. The other thing is, this building is now framed and skinned. Is that where we are with the building?
They're not skinned yet.
Just framed.
Just framed and maybe some of the black paper.
Okay, so I think that, Tobias, if you could do us the favor of relaying these comments to, DPC.
Yep.
To Joe.
Yep.
I'd say, you know, if this stands a chance, we really need to have black asphalt roof on there, but we also wanna, I would think, hold this until we have sheathing up so that we can at least see what the visibility of these things is gonna be. Is that fair?
I think it's partially.
It's some of it is visible, some of it's not.
Do you wanna look at it again?
I'm sure that some of it's visible, but, so, some of you may disagree with me on this one. Remind me. The house, as you drive back in Hummock Pond Road, back into town from Hummock Pond Road, there's this house that sort of sits all by itself on the right-hand side, and they have solar panels on the back side. Was that you?
That wasn't us.
Okay, well, the interesting thing about that, I think it has a black roof.
Yep.
You can see those panels. Like, if you're looking for them, you can see them. But they're on the back roof.
Yeah, I remember.
And there's some trees and stuff growing, so unless you're looking at it going, those are solar panels, you kind of just drive right by it.
Right.
So there's visibility and there's visibility. So what I would like to do is, if there isn't a huge amount of urgency here, is to take our time with this, see if they would consent to a black asphalt roof, which I think would gain a lot of points in terms of having them blend in with the roof. So.
And I can tell you from the south, which is where you enter this house.
Yeah.
This was Lloyd Arnold's old house.
Yes.
You virtually don't even realize it's a street because it just closes in so much with vegetation that it's literally just the driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't see the house from the south, so I would feel if the roof was
You
black.
can't see the house from the south.
Which is the road side.
Well, that's good news.
Right, so I'm saying if it was a black roof, I would feel pretty good about this.
Well, you know what my concern is? From the water.
Yeah.
So I want
Well,
someone to
there's
take
only
me out on a
one,
boat.
this is the only side that has the water. And that's oblique. Yes.
There was a house on Tennessee Avenue that you approved panels on the front side facing Tennessee Avenue.
Yeah.
And again, you can't see it because of I challenge you to go find that house.
Really?
You won't see it.
Oh.
And this one, no,
Well, that's good.
these will both face inland, the panels won't be visible.
Are those roof tiles black asphalt, do you know?
I don't remember, I
You
think
can't.
they were.
You can't even see the tiles. I don't even know what
You
they.
can't see
a
that
tile.
house
You can't even see a roof shingle on that project. Yeah.
What about the garage?
So wait, so what was this Nantucket's opinion?
They want it on the ground, which is impossible because there's wetland setbacks all around this thing.
And as you know, we love to do stuff on the ground. It's easier for us.
This is the house that we spent so much time doing.
Yeah.
Right over the.
It says south elevation visible from street, but
Yeah,
we
but-
just had a discussion about that, so that's the
Yeah.
extent of what they had said.
I'm gonna go see it.
I'm telling ya.
Hey, John, do you have anything to add? But I think what we wanna do at the end of the day here is, number one, view it, and number two, see if Tobias can talk to, the owner or the architect about having black asphalt shingles on the roof, so it blends in better.
Yeah. And if
Six panels on it.
I'm like clear, I counted these, there's 50 of them.
yes, and that's my bad, because we were.
Now I think we have to deny the application.
I wanted 60. I wanted more, so that was just my.
Okay.
Sorry.
What I'm trying to make, a small house on the west end of Nantucket. And you come off at Miller's Bridge and start down, and you go towards, you take the left and up Nantucket Road. And that very house right there, with the garage. We put it solid.
Oh, that's, yeah, that's a.
That's the bad one.
That was a project, that was
I'm trying to say that, you know, some can we give them to, some we don't. Now, they were inside the, what we call the new Nantucket area. We haven't voted that yet, but we're working on it.
Wasn't that the experiment though?
I'm sorry?
That was the failed experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what John's talking about?
Yes.
We're gonna get deeper and deeper and improving these in the old historic areas. Now, there are
No.
places in historic areas that you can go on the ground without dismantling. All right, and I talk about the history of Nantucket, is the visual ability of
I
Nantucket.
wanna get out of here.
Now you can't take pictures of anything without something modern. Parking signs, you get everything all over the island, new bicycle racks, they're putting them without permit.
I noticed that.
It's awful.
Hey, John, with respect to this application, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our time. Tobias is gonna go check out the black roof, whether we can do that, and we're all invited to, the house is being framed now. So you can actually see where they would go. So we should all go out and just take a look at this.
I think it's nice to see it because,
Yeah.
like you were saying, though, it's
Yeah.
We're gonna do that.
Okay, motion to hold for a view.
Right, and, information on the roofing.
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor of Abby's motion?
Aye.
Aye, okay.
And while I was out there,
You got to look at this.
sitting on the boat ramp, yet
That's-
one more
that is
plastic
that
shed
is the-
from Marine Lumber.
It's plastic, right?
It's the very same plastic shed.
Where is the shed?
Right next to the boat ramp.
That's a
It's almost
shed?
like a kid's
It
They
looks
have
like.
one in the front yard at Marine Lumber, and we spoke to them about it already.
Okay, so listen, we're gonna move, thank you, I'm gonna talk to Marine.
And I just had one public service announcement to
Yes.
make, which is that Zach and I are now renting electric bikes in an effort to get rid of the cars and return us back to 1917 when we let the first one on.
Okay.
They had electric bikes back then?
No.
They just didn't have cars.
They just didn't have
I'm just kidding.
Oh, so thank you. Come on.
Your grandfather was one of the ones who let it come on there.
Thank you.
I know.
All right, so
That is my
Sarah, I'm gonna assume that you're not representing the BPC stuff.
I'm not.
Okay, so can
That
I,
needs to be addressed.
can I have a motion to hold items 30 and 31?
So moved. So moved.
Thank you, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so now, Sarah has advised me that I need to recuse from this. Apparently, Lisa's doing something with it that I don't know about, it's secret. Thank you.
Let's make it a speedy secret.
You gotta do two off time.
More house?
No, Warren. Warren Boughton. You know, you see that in here? His mother was Martha Boughton. She lived on Gospel.
Cool. Great, thank you. Good night.
Good night.
I hold my enemies close.
Here you are.
So, this is,
Oh, thanks.
come
I speak to both of them simultaneously?
Yes.
This is an application for a demolition move off, although really demolition because the road is so narrow. We found would have to move the house in 8 pieces. Of a shed and a single family dwelling. The dwelling was built in 1991.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, that shed is adorbs.
They don't, they have to cut this in half to.
And it's made of tar paper.
And it was built without a permit.
Ew.
I have no problem with either one.
Yeah,
of
me
these.
either. Make a motion.
Let John.
Johnny, have you got something you'd like to say?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, hold on.
I'm okay with it, Madam Chair.
Moi aussi.
Alright. What the hell, this is not telling us where it is. It says Pulling Mill, this goes up to the water. Where's the life-saving museum?
So when you get to this, the way you get to this house is if you're coming from town, you take the first Fulling Mill exit, and then you take a left, and there's this like little private way that goes along the face of 3 lots, and this house is at the end of that.
Gotcha.
This is where Glenora Kelly
Elliott?
Smith lived.
Oh. The
What do you
jeweler?
think, John?
Is she a jeweler?
Wasn't she?
What do you think?
She did fairy houses and things. Which
I don't think it has any significant value on that one.
Did you get the shed?
yeah, that's what he's
No,
talking
but
about.
now he's, but isn't that the,
Now he's looking at the house.
okay, so we're doing them together and,
Yes, why not?
alright, let's get them over with.
There was nothing about this house at all that.
I'll make a motion to, what do you want? A demo?
A demo.
Demo, both the house and the shed.
Okay, well, hold it for just a minute. This is the shed, then the house,
Yeah.
house, bunch of stuff.
I mean, maybe give me a demo move off just in case something crazy happens, but
Yeah,
I can't
Demo
imagine.
or demo move off.
Maybe you can demo move off the greenhouse.
It's good that you're gonna tear that down, because as the road was built, I remember it much around the water around that area.
Okay.
When it was built, it's a violation to having to pay for it.
That's right.
Quite a bit in that house.
All right, you
That's
made
my
the
motion, Madam Chair.
Yes,
Motion is on the board,
very
on the
good.
table, I mean.
All those in favor of demo or moving both the house and the shed?
Aye.
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 Great, thank you very much. I have it on good authority, a very beautiful barn-like structure is going to come in on it.
With a cool.
Groovy, can't wait to see it.
Certainly.
Are we done? Is that?
No, one more.
Well, but, we don't have anyone to represent
Okay.
30 miles.
Motion to hold, go Val, go,
Yeah,
go.
motion to hold.
20.
All those in favor of,
Aye.
holding the application,
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, now, should we approve some minutes?
Yeah.
All right,
Motion to approve the minutes.
all right, so there's a motion on the table to approve the minutes of July 9th and 11th. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now,
Holly didn't make it for the MVP.
What is
was
that?
she gonna
She
show?
wants to do a presentation.
Oh, that would be so
About
great.
Yeah.
what?
No, she got a grant, so let her explain it when, it's very nice.
I just, vulnerability preparedness. Is that when they come across
I
on
just signed that one.
on their backs and?
Stuff, Diane shared that, right?
Is anybody going tomorrow night for the,
Shared.
I'm gonna try, that's at
What's
6
tomorrow
o'clock
night?
in
the
Fairgrounds?
National Grid?
Oh, I hope so.
Where is
Six-
it?
6 o'clock, Fairgrounds?
Fairgrounds Restaurant?
Yeah, at the bar. No, I don't know, I think it's over there. The,
Do you know?
I don't know, is this about the LA contract?
The
no, it's,
National Grid.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm gonna be there.
I know it's at 6 o'clock.
Find out why we.
Probably selectmen's meeting, isn't it?
It is a selectmen's meeting.
Yeah, but they didn't.
Yeah,
Oh, downstairs, okay.
the meeting tomorrow? The meeting
Sarah,
tomorrow
why are
on the
flags
telephone
that have
poles
that?
downstairs. Selectmen's room. What time is the meeting?
John sent us a thing today, I think it's 6.
6, but you should have an email.
6 o'clock.
I can't get there because Diane has to work, but
I can't go either.
we paid for years, we have paid $20 or $40 a month on our electric bill to cut the wires underground.
Underneath, I know, with the, what
And
we're
all
supposed
they
to do,
ever did
ensconce it,
was
too?
the center of Main Street and Lily or Liberty or India. And the rest they haven't done. They haven't done nothing.
They put wires in the core area from the bank to the Sharon Coffin, to the steamship, and back to Main Street. And they put the pipes underground, and they put the wiring in the pipes.
Yes.
Left them sticking out. They're still sticking out down on Shannon Street.
Well, they
It's a
certainly
waste.
didn't spend however many people live here
All right.
and paid $20 a month for the last
Okay.
20 years.
That's right, yep.
So I guess anybody who can go, let John know.
Well, you're gonna have a revolution.
I'm tired of the
So-
board like not sucking up to.
The rest of it, let's hold.
Wait, so did we just cover the first 2 items?
Kinda.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Did you give him the picture of the shed?
Yes, I showed him. Oh, I gave it to Kadeem.
Yes, I've got the shed and I have it noted.
Marine lumber needs to be
Marine.
notified
Yep,
again.
I got it noted.
Well, I just thought if he was gonna talk, then he could
Yeah.
text them.
So the rest of the stuff, I think we need more people.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, I'll make a comment.
Yes, sir.
The municipal vulnerability preparedness,
Yes.
and I'm well over 80, and all my life, MVP was the most valuable put-up.
That's right.
Hey, how about that? They think they're the most valuable
That's a
put-up.
very good living. Did you get my post?
2
All
Fairgrounds
right.
Road at 6 o'clock.
Oh, did everyone hear that?
Wow.
Oh,
It's
2
ju-
fairgrounds, wait,
You
that's,
have a meeting Thursday.
wait,
What?
hold on.
There are 5
Let's-
items.
Tomorrow's meeting is at 2 Fairgrounds Road?
Well, no,
No,
I mean,
it's
it's
here. It's gotta be, I think it's.
this is what he sent us.
At 6 p.m.
There's no woman down there, plenty of people.
It's downstairs then.
Oh, here.
Right. This is not 2 Fairgrounds.
This is 4
This is-
Fairgrounds.
Correct.
Oh,
This is
Okay.
Okay.
Review update on National Grid LA feeder project.
well, wait, why do we have a, Thursday meeting?
because
Wednesday tomorrow.
No, no, no.
5 or 6 items
we
that
keep
weren't on
confusing
this agenda.
two things.
Hi.
So that
Are
was
you
it
here?
on the whole select board thing. Now we're talking about
Okay.
our HDC
All right, I'll see you
Thursday
when you get
meeting.
here.
I can't come.
That's okay.
All right,
Is that everything?
What?
Is that
bye.
everything?
Well, there's kind of nothing to say on the Thursday meeting. It's posted, there's some things on there, and we'll just see who shows up, right?
What,
Really?
is there
Why
something
don't-
we should? I
Well,
just
that's when
don't,
Holly wanted to do her presentation.
Wait, what?
Does nobody read their email?
Who is
My
Holly?
internet,
No.
my thing is
She
so messed up.
didn't wanna
Cannot
come
read.
tonight because it was at the end, so we were convinced that this meeting was gonna go till Thursday, so she said she would come Thursday, cause she's already in the building and that meeting's over there.
Okay, so I think that's great news. I'm gonna be there Thursday.
Okay.
So, I guess we're missing a little less than half of our members right now, so whoever can make it on Thursday
Right.
will be informed about,
Right.
if we have enough.
Take notes. I want somebody to take notes. I wanna know
There's-
about it.
Those are called
I'm sure I'll
minutes.
be able to like email you whatever she sends.
Oh, okay.
You know, whatever she presents, I'm sure she'll have.
We have a meeting on Thursday.
We do?
We do. We have some applications that we need to review. And, apparently Holly is gonna be talking about,
Erosion,
the,
rising sea levels.
the first the first thing, your MVP thing,
Yeah.
Holly is gonna be talking about that on Thursday.
She's written and got a big grant.
Great, so I wanna hear all about it. So that's Thursday at 1,
Yeah.
for those of you who can make it. Okay?
And then,
Yeah, 'cause if I don't make it, it's 'cause I haven't been able to get the ride to, pick me up.
It's okay, and
Oh, motion to adjourn.
There we go.
no, they're at the 8.
National Grid is gonna be,
Motion to adjourn.
Good night.
Good night. National Grid is gonna be downstairs tomorrow at 6 o'clock. National Grid will not be attending our Thursday meeting.
Okay.
Holly will be. Okay, but the two are linked together.
And the other
Terry,
phone
do you
is,
need a ride?
Thursday.
Yes.
The phone
Good night.
Diane, you're all set,
All right, so
right?
there was actually a motion to adjourn.
Aye.
All those in favor of the motion, aye.
7 of us voted.
All
I
right.
was gonna ask you something. In your past history, do you know who Daniel Burnham is?
No.
Daniel
Is he related
Burnham,
to Ted?
yeah,